Listen. Yeah. Yes, Lord. Oh. Get that out of there. I sure do have this bonnet on my head, and I wish someone would say something about it, baby. This is my off day. Hey, everybody, it's your boy, Matty Rants. Can you hear me loud and clear? I have the microphone set kind of lower right now, and I just want to make sure y'all can hear me or not. Please let me know. Yeah, I couldn't find my hair tie. I didn't feel like putting nothing in the scalp. I was lying down, minding my business, doing what I do. And I was like, oh, yeah, I did say I was going to do a live today because we have to talk about Big Brother. But I said, I don't feel like putting anything in my hair. So I'm just going to go ahead and have my bonnet on. Now, I want this to be very clear for the girls that don't understand, okay? I am not a white man, and I am not sitting here putting no bonnet on my head. This is not Bad Boys Club. Do not get it confused. My hair is a nice length right now. This 3C needs to be kept in condition, so it is currently under wraps. Okay? How y'all doing, Rant Pack? What it do, what it do, what it do? It's your boy, Matty Rants. Thanks for tuning in today. This is a rant with me where we talk about everything. And I do mean everything in terms of all kinds of talk shows, reality television, current hot topics, all of that, and then some. Normally, when I do a review, I like to keep it on that one topic, unless I like to, drive off into a different subject, then come back. But today is more of like a a tea spilling day, a conversation. This is like the fam convo. So if you're a part of my rant pack, you've been a part of this rant pack, you already know what these lives are about. It's literally a conversation with you, not even going through a review, but just answering questions, as well as talking about the things that we discuss that we don't necessarily get to in a review format of it all. So I thank y'all for being here. We got 46 of y'all up in this piece. Hit that like button if you could for me, please. And we are going to start this road up today. I do want to talk about a couple of things with YouTube. I've noticed some comments lately that I want to address and make sure that I see everything, but I don't respond to everything until I'm ready to respond to stuff, right? But we're going to do my social medias first. We're going to do, a little bit of a light conversation. I'm going to throw in my disclaimer because people get a little crazy with your boy. And then we're going to go from there. Okay. Now, it's at Matty Rants everywhere except for Twitter, which is at the Matty Rants. In the description down below, you'll find that in the link tree. Just hit that link. You'll find me everywhere. I have merch available at dragqueenmerch.com. Hit that link. Also available in the description. It'll show you all the options that you have and the colors, sizes, this, that, and the other. I do all reactions on Patreon for as low as $1 a month. You do not need to subscribe to any other tier level except for the $1 to catch all of those videos. So if that's something you're interested in, check it out. And I'm bookable on Cameo. It's probably the fastest I've ever done my social medias. Okay. Where else am I going with this? Yeah, do me a favor, really hit that like button. I have noticed that in a lot of my videos, y'all are watching and not hitting the button. And I mean, if you're not liking what I do, I understand that. But a lot of y'all showing support in the live chat, I need it to transfer over. YouTube and the algorithm and the way they're looking at me right now is not in the favor. And so when you hit that like button, when you comment on my videos, that really is important and helpful. I'm probably going to have to stop doing lives because that seems to be the trend that's happening, that with the live videos that I do, a lot of the conversation is still in the live chat and it doesn't get transferred over into the comment section. And that's what was actually helping my channel. I had to do a lot of research today. As a matter of fact, I spent most of my day trying to figure out what the hell was going on with my channel compared to the last year to this year when things were great. Then all of a sudden, these last 2 months, what's been happening? So I'm going to have to change up this. I love going live. I love doing this. It's so much fun, but it's really hurting me right now. It's hurting me to the point to where it's questioned, like the way I'm doing my bills, all of that's been fucked over. So I am going to be switching it back. There will be lives that happen. It will be certainly Yes, it would certainly help. Going through old videos, going through new videos, all of that is very helpful. But as YouTubers, and I can only speak for myself, I can't speak for everybody else, but based off of what I was told today, based off of the information I received, based off of the helpful comments that were given to me, as well as me contacting somebody in support and then have a very long conversation about the algorithm. I see y'all as my fam and y'all have been very supportive of me, but it has to be just a little bit more than just showing up here and sitting and watching. You got to hit that thumbs up. You got to get in the comment section, whether you agree with me or not. I'm not going to delete any more comments. If you want to drag me by my scalp, if you want to do all of that, because people love to just hate on me if they want to, that's fine. Okay. I'm at a place in my life right now where I've developed a little bit of more security within myself. And if anybody feels some kind of way about what I got to say, that's not on me, that's on them. So I'm here today. Clearly, someone can make fun of me for having this bonnet in my head. I do not care. I don't care. I'm too old to give a fuck. And that's just that. So I really have to tell you about it. And, honestly, Vicky, that's actually one of the things that's been going on. This happens to YouTubers all the time. The algorithm itself is not a person sitting there going, I don't like you, I don't like you, I don't like you. It's based off of what they develop when they, of course, go through what they want to be pushed out there for YouTube and what the advertisers are going to see, right? So the reason why I was so critical at one point in time on a previous panel that I was on was because words were being said that could have gotten my channel blocked, banned, or even demonetized. And I have people on the panel who are not considering that sometimes because the joke is funny. And I get it. And it's a funny joke. But if it puts me in a position where I can't feed myself anymore, a sorry is not going to cut it. So I have to be a little bit smarter than yesterday, which is why you've seen a little bit of a progression in my reviews that I do on this channel. I'm not necessarily just dragging everybody by their scalp like I used to do. I'm going to still throw a little jab. I'm going to still get somebody together. But unfortunately, I'm being monitored deeply, deeply. Okay. It's not just me. It is other content creators as well. But I'm a part of that deep. They're really honing in on my stuff. I've had to combat certain videos that were demonetized or given limited that honestly should never have been done that way. I went back and watched the whole thing, and I watched other people's videos, and it's the same thing. So this is my life. This is what I've literally done for the past 5 years. When anyone says something like you should stop and just focus on, that is not even close to helpful, especially for content creators like myself. I've already done my 10 years of service in the industry. I've done even more of that just in general, working a 9 to 5. I've put my stock into this. It does pay my bills, both Patreon and YouTube and all that kind of jazz. But when people are saying, oh, you don't have this as much as you, and all that, and I'm like, this is what happens with YouTubers and content creators. You'll notice how Philippines didn't seem that way, did it? But if you look at my other Drag Race reviews, they're placing me in a So, by all means, please get in that comment section afterward. If you just tune in today, when you walk in the store, please hit that like button. I'm not going to stop what I'm doing because everything's not going my way, or I'm not going to stop what I'm doing just because somebody doesn't like me. I'm not going to stop what I'm doing because I said the wrong thing. I'm an accountable motherfucker, and I take my accountability very seriously. And some girls don't think that I do that, but that's on them. If you don't want to listen to what I have to say, you can run, you can jump, you could fall, you could swim, you could fly. But I'm still going to be on this ground, and I'm going to be walking, moving, and going where I need to be. God got me, and forever will be. With that being said, I love every single one of you. Thank you for your support. I love y'all down, period. And that will never change. But please make sure when you come up in this piece, that is the best thing you can do for me, even before dropping a tip in my jar, hitting that like button, get in that comment section, act a fool. Okay. And that's true. This is exactly what the conversation I had today. And that was the problem I was having, because it's so weird how you can make the same content 5 months ago and it's being utilized, and then the same content that was actually doing the right thing for you, now this month it's like, we're not going to do that. So it makes you have to change up the entire volume of what's supposed to happen here, right? too much of the algorithm is automated. If they're going to mess with people's coins, they need to more humans involved. Too many issues happening to quality content creators based on a computer. Like, but also let's be very clear. They also would have to put in specific things to look for the computer to then recognize to do all of that. So if this helps my video get more views, I love you, YouTube. I love you, YouTube. I love you, YouTube. I've always loved you, YouTube. Thank you so much for having me forever and ever and ever. I'm one of your favorite content creators. Oh my gosh. But at the same time, I'm going to say what I got to say. I'm going to say what I got to say. I got to keep it real. And it does suck to sometimes know you are being punished for being gay and Black on a platform that is supposed to uplift everybody. And sometimes it does, but not often enough to where I can have a conversation saying, that's not true. So today is a conversation. Big Brother's on the menu. Drag Race UK finally dropped a teaser. And whatever else y'all want to talk about for a good hour or so, basically, okay? There's 100+ of y'all in here. I love you down. Please hit that like button. What did I do to you? Seriously. What did I do? Unless you're somebody named somebody who actually doesn't have anything to really be pressed about in reality, unless they actually had a conversation with me. You don't have a reason to be upset. But then again, I can't, I don't look immediately to my videos. I'm like, oh, y'all are not liking it and all that kind of stuff. I see it afterwards and I'm like, oh, okay. Matty, you're not the first content creator who's dealt with this, so keep using your voice. People will listen. Yeah, I thank you for that, because it is in reality definitely not just me. And I've talked to a few other folks that I'm very cool with who also make content like me. And I've noticed their shit. Like, what's going on? He's like, I'm doing the same thing I've done before. And it's very interesting. But again, if you see me at any point in time, like on the panel or even in my video, and I come to a point of where I need to correct myself or the situation, it is literally to cover my tracks and to make sure that whatever system is reading, listening, or following along understands that this show is for entertainment purposes, as it always has been. It is not full of facts. Some things are factual, but everything is mostly alleged. And that we, refresh your screen, Tito Burrito, and that we, as an audience, as this group here, as this family I have created in my mind that has turned into a real thing that is y'all, this is our space. I don't just do this for me. You can call my real friends, not the fake ones, the real ones. I get up because of y'all hoes, and y'all ain't even hoes. I get up because of y'all. I get up every morning trying to make sure I have content out there and doing something, because I not only love to talk, which is something I used to be punished for as a child, but I'm now making a living off of the thing that actually was one of my biggest issues growing up, was not being allowed to speak because my voice was too effeminate. And I was asked to never speak. And when I was, my words had to be lowered in tone, and I used to be hit for that. So now the thing that used to scare me to do, I am now able to live and breathe off of. And all the light that was dimmed for me when I was younger is starting to show and shine. I'm going to tell you a little something before I get into today's video. So I'm going to give y'all some love and some light here with y'all, okay? I prayed deep last night, and I felt my prayers were answered in the form of an epiphany that happened to me today, okay? I sat there and I was like, should I keep doing this, Lord? I was like, God, I've had to move 3 different places and spaces. And this move right now has nothing to do with money. It has nothing to do with any sort of like conflict. It's just simply a situation that happened because the apartment's got to do what they got to do for their own units. But I hate moving. And I also feel like, with these numbers lately and how everything's been going, this isn't adding up. Mind y'all, my subscriber account is in the green. I've been getting new subscribers. We're at 20,500 plus. That's a gag. It's amazing. I'm like, holy crap. That's insane, right? But I really asked God last night. I said, I don't know if I should do this anymore, because I need to make a living. I'm getting into this age. I want to have a husband. I want to have a family. I want to have a house. Like, this isn't just for shits and giggles. Like I want this to go to television. I don't want to just keep this on YouTube. I want to be on TV having these conversations with people. And then I meet folks in my live audience that have been watching me for years. I put this on God. Y'all know I'm an emotional soul. Queen Kong sent me a message this morning. She doesn't know how deep it was for me, because it was literally maybe right when I woke up after praying last night that I got that message. And messages. The previous day, Minnie Cooper had sent me a lot of stuff, and it really like affected me too, because, you know, I respect everybody I watch on TV, no matter if I don't like them or not in the moment for the situation. In reality, I like everybody. I know it sucks. Oh, he's not I'm not a hater, to be honest with you. I'm only going to be a hater if you make me one. But I truly want everybody to win. So Minnie starting that off the other day was something. But if y'all remember, I even said, I was like, oh, if Queen messaged me something. But she sent me something. I don't want to read too much of it because it was a great conversation or whatever. And y'all know I live for Queen Kong, but I needed it. She don't even know I needed it. I needed it so bad. She says, baby, I live for you and love you, XX. You need to be on TV. Your commentary is amazing and so balanced and nuanced and funny. And she said we need to meet soon and all that. And that did something for me this morning. When last night I was like just really questioning my God-given talent and the things that I love to do. And somebody who I have so much respect for, somebody who I literally talked about the previous day and I had to go in on, sent me that. And you don't know, sometimes you don't know who you need to hear from to get you back up. And so when I got that, I took that sign and I took that as God going, these are the people whose opinions matter. And this is someone who you respect, Matthew, letting you know you're doing a damn good job. And so, mind you, I was in my bag this last review. I'm going to pat myself on the back. Even if that Drag Race Down Under video doesn't get 10,000 to 20,000 views, bitch, I ate the last review. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. I ate that review up because I was feeling my shit. It was one of those episodes where, I can study, and I had a narrative ready in place. I ate that review up, and I'm going to pat myself for that one. And when Minnie Cooper messages me that morning, because she also said, Matthew, thank you for the kind words you said at the beginning of the video. Minnie was watching the video. And then Queen follows through. It was like, whoa. Whoa. And then I have to remind myself, hey, dude, you're getting up. And other people getting up because of you too. I don't ever want to feel arrogance about myself. And I have had the narrative of being a user before. That is not true. It's not true. I will argue that down. I will pull someone into court with that one. It's not true. I've had terms and words used against me to pull me down that are not true. And I allowed those things to consume me because I want everyone to like me. And that's the truth. That's my Libra-ness in me. Ooh. But I only need to impress the people that I want to impress. And the person I need to impress the most is myself. And so reading that, seeing all those things, yeah, it was, I needed that moment. So thank you, Queen, for that message this morning. You don't understand how much energy that gave me. And also Minnie Cooper as well. And shout out to the Drag Race Down Under community for a season 1 where I had no love at all. I did not care at all for season 1. Season 2 has been doing something for me. And also a big shout out to Drag Race Philippines as well. It's been a good ride. Those two are kind of keeping me in here. Canada as well. I'm starting to dip in and out because of certain things happening with Canada. No shade. I do like the cast, but something about Down Under this season and Philippines has really felt like a full, just a battery recharge for me when it comes to talking about content and not feeling like I'm, well, here we're talking about Drag Race and here we're doing this. I don't like doing that. And that's why sometimes I won't do Secret Celebrity Drag Race, because who wants to watch a review where I just am negative the entire time? That's Matty in the beginning stages of this, universe of reviews. So I just wanted to share that with y'all and let y'all know I'm good. I am moving. It is a process. I'm not already solidified anywhere else. And yes, the 30th is coming up any day now. And I got a whole bunch of stuff going on in my background. I have a lot of shit going on. But at the same time, this is the bread and butter, but it's also my way of checking in with you all and telling you not only do I love you, but I'm like, I need y'all here with me. Because I wouldn't be me if it wasn't for y'all, and I wouldn't be me if it wasn't for Deborah, and I wouldn't be me if it wasn't for God. And I put that on everything, and I even put my dad, Vincent, too. um, but yeah, just wanted to give that little, just have my little talk with y'all first. So we can get into Big Brother now. You've seen this bonnet on my head. You're like, what the hell is going on here, baby? I don't feel like putting nothing on my head. As a matter of fact, let's just get real. See, this is not ready. This ain't ready. This ain't ready. No, we could. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, 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 no. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. She needs some time and some energy. And I said, oh no. Mm-mm. This is my least favorite part of putting a bonnet on. Oh, girl. There's always some struggling, like stragglers. There's always some stragglers. Ladies, you know about this bonnet game. And for my fellas with the longer hair and my babies that don't even subscribe to a gender, you know what I'm talking about. Ooh, that shit drives me, girl. Ooh. I'll be in the bed and I'll be asleep thinking I had tucked all the hair in. And then all of a sudden there's like this little strand of hair in my mouth. I'm like where'd this come from? You're supposed to be up. So I got this bonnet on Amazon for $15. And I bought it from, it was a black owned store. I forget her name. I gotta look it up. But I saw she made bonnets, and it was like particularly she had bonnets like she gendered them, but it was for reasons like with men, certain things with like head sizes and all that kind of shit. So I bought it. And I'll tell you, Nidra, mine stays on maybe 70% of the time. I'm always shocked when I wake up with it on. I'm always shocked. I be waking up like, oh, it's still there. Gag. Other times it'd be on the floor, it'd be over the bed. I'd be like, oh my God. They have satin line hoodies? Oh, I'm interested in this. But yeah, I also thought about cutting my hair yesterday, and I had to talk myself off of that ledge. I was this close to cutting my hair, baby. This close. I'm glad I didn't. I was like, maybe I should cut my hair. And maybe that's an issue. And this is too much for people. Because in reality, I still have my own issues with people over masculinity and femininity. And that's come from just years and years of conditioning to think that one is wrong and the other is right, as well as dealing with folks in the, gay community, especially with, my range of attraction of dealing with folks who only want a particular set of bottom that is very much a straight acting man. It's very annoying. Becky, I see you on my Venmo. Thank you, baby. Thank you for keeping me entertained on this scorching day in SoCal. Oh my God, how hot is it over there? Oh God. See, this is the stuff I hate. When I think someone's sending me a message about possibly doing promo and like sponsoring my channel, and they use a word like advertisementing. We deprivation to progression advertisementing from you. I am the advertisementing administrator of Nifty Getaway and the premier NFT marketplace for beginners. We will not rest until 1 billion people are collecting NFTs. I get those every day. I get at least 3 of those a day. And it really drives me because I'm like, when I had airtime, that was cute. I was like, oh, she's legit. After that, there was another offer, but I didn't like the company, and I'm not going to tell you which one it was because they were Trump, and I didn't want to take their money. Oh no, bitch! I was like, they're going to drag me if they've ever found that out. So nah, we ain't taking it. Nope. And after that, it's been very much everybody trying to scam me since then. Let's get to the comment section here. My apologies. I just wanted to get that out of the way. I've been needing to say that a while now for the last 2 weeks. I see comments all the time like, Maddie, what's going on? And I'm like, it's nothing that I'm doing. You talk to these people in charge of this machine. Aaron Binsey, thank you so much, baby, for the super chat. You're amazing, Maddie. Love you from the UK. Can't wait for you to watch the season 4 Drag Race UK because it's going to be wild. Let's do that first because nothing's really been announced. And we can sort of gloss over that and then get into Big Brother because I'm dragging Kyle. I'm dragging Alyssa. I'm dragging Uncle Terrence. I am dragging Turner. I'm dragging Michael and I'm dragging Britney. No one is safe except for Queen Taylor and a little bit of Monty. Not for his early game, but for this current where he is now. Yeah. I'm going to cut up. Okay. Greetings from Corwin. Wish you the best. Thank you, Corwin. Thank you for the super chat. Love you down. Appreciate. I'll give you a hug in real life if I had them. If my arms could reach that long, but that would look really scary. Fozzie, not the bear. Taylor's karma is real. Also, love you, Maddie. Love you too. And it's been my favorite thing to watch Taylor's karma come into play. The reason I'm going to choose words wisely, I've noticed that a particular word that I like to use that starts with a C, ends with an N, has 2 O's in it, is considered a word that can be very much demonetizable. So I found new words for that. Also, yes, calling somebody a racist flat out is considered to be not okay by YouTube standards. Had to look that up. Had to talk to somebody. Had to get clarification for that. In other words, too, that they won't necessarily demonetize me, but they will take my channel out of the algorithm because people want to use words that they. Okay, it's like I guess sometimes we have to remind ourselves that we're not having a conversation in front of someone, but we're talking to people across the world. So if you don't mind, I will use the term dumpster diver for that word. Okay. And when I don't use dumpster diver, you'll find things like trash collector, a tree climber with kids, tree climbers. Okay. I also will use terms like attic dweller. Okay. Because I don't want to use that word. Oh, yes, we can. I'm so glad you brought this up, Rudy Stitches. Thank you for the super chat. Do you want to talk about it? Do you want to talk about Britney's 20-minute video where she completely exposes her family? Baby. Jamie Lynn, your father, your mother, the whole family. Didn't I tell y'all they were trash? I told you. I told y'all they were trash. I warned you. Didn't I say that when we were talking about Britney? Did I not bring up they all have to be held responsible and the best thing she could do is expose them bitches? Kaboom. Told you. I knew it. Like, of course the mother was complacent. Of course the father was the one in control. And of course all of her siblings were in on it. Yeah. Ain't that scary? Black love. Thank you, baby. Showing love from Atlanta. My love back to you in Atlanta. I would move to Atlanta, but I would need a man. I ain't moving there single. I'd have to move in with a husband if I'm gonna move to Atlanta. No, baby. Sailor Jupiter is my fave. Try using Trash Panda. Trash Panda, is that the one? Actually, how about the audience vote? What word are we gonna use instead of the word I would like to use for Terrence this week? I'd also be here for Kyle words as well. This way we can avoid demonetization and saying things are a little bit, I'm just gonna call Alyssa bodies. Because, that's all she be doing is getting bodies. You literally have a boyfriend back at home. You're crazy. You are crazy, girl. I'm also going to read tweets from Twitter, from BB_updates. Shout out to that Twitter channel that normally posts in context the conversations that happen because there are moments we need to break down. I see a lot of Uncle Ruckus. I see Trash Pandas. Trash Pandas sounds fun. Tap Dancer. Oh, Gregory, that's a good one. That has some context to it, girl. We could call him Steven, which is Samuel L. Jackson's character in Django Unchained, because . That's a little too on the money there, Sambo. Damn, you piece made me say it. Uh, that is actually someone's name, but Lord, the context of that. Kyle is Casper. No, what was Leonardo DiCaprio's name in Django? It was like something Sugarfoot, something like that. What was Leonardo DiCaprio's name in there? I feel like that's the name we should do. That tap dancer though is that's kind of raw. I'm low key here with it. Desiree, I don't know why, but your body's giving me everything with this live. Listen, I didn't want to do my hair. I said all that. Desiree, I was like, we gonna put this bonnet on. This is Matty before bed, by the way. So if you're watching this and like, what is going on here? Matty before bed. This is Matty before bed. This bonnet is on. I am wrapped in the finest of cheap clothes. I have a blanket on. I am in full relax and I'm playing my Switch or my iPad or I'm watching an adult cartoon or possibly The Office on a marathon. That is my life and I live for the simplicities of it. Calvin Candy. Yes. That's what we'll call Kyle. Calvin Candy. Or, yep, 10 seconds. Yeah, we'll call him a 60-yard dash. Oh my gosh. That's so rude. I would like to say, and I hate to be this guy because, my birthday is coming up. It is less than 30 days away. If you did want to tip me, I'm also moving too. Just PayPal.me /MattyRants. Cash App /MattyRants. Vmas. Thank you, Becky, for the first of the tips in the jars. Thank you for the super chats. But if you just wanted to drop me a little love, right there you go. But that thumbs up is going, again, like I said at the beginning of this video, super crucial. This is definitely going to be longer than an hour. So if you're one of those girls that get mad at me for talking for a very long time, you're going to be upset. I don't care. Ooh, not Michael Darby. Ooh, Leo, we went to Potomac. Andy Aaron. Okay, stop it. Y'all said, I think we'll go with Michael Darby. But no, I don't have anything bad to say about, yes, I do. Yes, I do. But we'll do this first. Let's talk about UK. Let's talk about Drag Race UK first before we get there. Drag Race UK has released a 10-second little short with the original music, for RuPaul, all that kind of stuff. And the supermodel, you better work. So I am already aware of the cast. I am Matty Rants. Of course. Duh. So I already know what the cast is going to be giving, and you already know who I'm going to be rooting for off grip, off tip, off the one. But yeah, we'll see what happens here. I'm hoping we don't have another situation like I felt we did before in reference for somebody being I'm gonna be quiet. I thought there was some BS with the last season over a couple of things that went down, but then again, it's all reality TV. Respect the platform, respect the program. But I'm excited for the new season of Drag Race UK. You already know I'm going to be recording it, talking about it, and reacting to it. I saw a question. Matty, I'm off topic, but are you watching the Bobby Light show? A mess. I am. I'm actually doing reactions to it. I did not do a reaction to the first episode. I recorded my reaction to episode 2. My apologies. I will have that reaction up this evening once we're done with this live today. I'm almost done editing it. I was editing it last night and stopped because I got hooked on a new game. It's not a new game. It's actually a really old game called Subnautica. I used to want to be a marine biologist when I was a kid. So that game is literally up my alley. Thank you. We keeping this hair over. We're covering it today. Nice roots. Nice. I think I might be the only Black person not mad at Michael. I would have done the same. FYI to Matty when we on next season. Who says I haven't sent in a date? I will say this. You may not be mad, but it's very interesting that he held that information only to be used in an opportunistic moment to where his gameplay could be saved in reference to it. So I'm okay and not okay with him at the same time. Michael's doing what he needs to do because in reality, they probably would send Michael home like really quickly. He wins all the competitions. So good. Hell no. That's not my jush. If you would have to talk to Dooley about that, but he doesn't go live enough in order for that to happen. So you parking lot that for the panel next Sunday. I'm sure he'll be happy to give you his few minutes of that one, but hell no. I don't like American Idol. I don't like The Voice. I don't like The Masked Singer. I don't like anything to do with a singing competition where I don't have a say so in who wins. And when they did have say so who in who wins, people were cheating. So I don't like competition style based off of that sort of talent. Like everybody is a singer. No, they're not. But that's the thing. Like what are we qualifying as the best singer here in this competition? What's the most commercial? What's this and the other? Like, let's remind ourselves that Jennifer Hudson got to American Idol and placed what? And is currently now an EGOT holder. So no, I can't get into shows like that. Also, I don't want to see Jenny McCarthy do anything. I don't want to see Kim Jong do anything. I don't want to see him do anything. Who else is on that panel? I don't want to see Nick Cannon. I literally have to turn on my phone. He had another baby. I don't. So no, and no shade to it. I just. Oh, I know. Listen, they didn't hear that goat behind the mask, bitch. No shade to Candy, but she do be yodeling a little bit. I feel like Candy has what Jussie Smollett wants in a voice. Jussie can sing. I'm just being shady, but at the same time, he can't, in my opinion. Well, I don't like his voice, but I was happy for her. And she used it for a read later. But yeah. So yeah, Drag Race UK season 4. I don't know if this is exclusive tea, but I'm aware of what day they're going to release the trailer and the cast. I'm not going to share that with you because I like to keep my sources close to the purse, but I will say it's right around the corner. Like right around the corner. Very, very soon. That's all coming. So there you go. But that's all I'm gonna give you. That's it. So that little teaser, I was like, oh, okay. I was very aware, but because one of my babies on Twitter had tagged me in it. And when I say that, if I ever call y'all my babies, that's another word for how I love y'all, or just talk about y'all to my people. Whenever I'm talking to my friends outside of YouTube, I'm like my babies, my fam, Rant Pack. But he tagged me and I was like, I know. Wait till season 3 is, or is it 4? We're on 3. Wait till season 3 is done, Becky. Because they've been finished that, but you give them a second, because from my understanding, possibly before the end of the year, and that's giving it a lot of time between September, which is about to be, and December. You'll be getting something about it. The new season of Drag Race is more than likely not going to premiere until January or February. I think it's going to be late January from my idea. And this is not from any information I got. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. But yeah. We're not going to discuss it, Peace to Mateo. I want to know when you found out about it, because I knew about it like a while ago. And I also was saying that's going to be kind of really good TV if that goes down that way, from what I know. Oh, it's going to be great TV. It's also going to make a lot of people pissed. But then again, that's what I'm starting to see from Versus the World series. Somebody in the universe is going to be mad at how someone went home, and that's just going to be that. Thank you, Jay, for the super chat. The fact that we have to use code words, it says a lot about this platform. I was watching a couple people's videos recently, Jay, who are also YouTubers, who have to consistently talk about, hey, we can't say this, we can't do that, we have to use this word. I started paying attention to people with very big views, and I was like, let me start watching their videos on controversial topics and how they're handling it. It's like they're not even talking about it. They can't use the proper terms. Everything has to be coded and worded interestingly. It's like, I mean, are we really having real conversations? Joe Rogan can say what he wants. Yes, she did. Alyssa told everyone she was going to break up with before she. Oh, girl, I have so I want I am going to get her together because she is the worst of the worst. Like if you thought Kyle was bad, you really have to think about who Alyssa is as a person, the way she is playing this game, and how insanely jealous she is of Taylor. Insanely jealous of Taylor. Oh my god, it's sickening. It really gets on my nerves. But yeah, so I would say for Canada versus the world, we will have a very entertaining season. I will also say that it'll be interesting how it goes down because the optics of it will be up for very cool. It'll be interesting to discuss that. Oh man, that's gonna be funny to talk about. And then I think for All Stars 8, with all the stuff that's been released about that going on and all that jazz, that's also going to be some dramatic television. I just want everybody to remember and to remind yourselves that we're watching a TV show that has been edited for entertainment purposes. Just like I do a video here and I talk my shit, it's for entertainment. I'm not here to take someone down. So everything that's done on TV is not a reflection of that person in the outside world. Please don't take it too deep. But I'm not surprised by the All Stars tea at all. Not the All Stars 8 one at all. I'll reveal why later in a later date, and it's not going to spill nobody's business. But it definitely. I actually, you know what's funny? No. I'm gonna give you I'll give you a hint. I actually I talked about a conversation I had prior to them filming that with somebody who was on the cast. And so how the game is played or what we've read about, it made perfect sense to me. So I was like, she did exactly what she said she was gonna do. How y'all gonna be mad about that? I'm not mad about it. So I just want to see how it goes down. She did everything she said she told me she was gonna do. Well, if I do this and I go back up in there, I'm cutting up. I'm not playing no games. It's all gonna be that. And sure enough, I said, oh, at least she did what she said she was gonna do. I can't read it because I noticed that I have somebody in particular who unsubscribes and resubscribes to my Patreon, who likes to take screenshots for negative reasons and also say I said certain things. Don't think I don't know where I found those videos, punk. For real, for real. So no, I'm afraid I can't take it to Patreon. I have somebody literally just subscribing just to watch my shit and talk about me. Continue to, but I like to still continue to have my list of people. I like to have my, contacts in order. I like for World of Wonder to know I'm an ally and not against them with my content creating. This is not an Uki production. Thank you so much for the super chat. Did you see how Lay's, Drag Race, Shay, and Enos is shouting out Taylor? I would love to see Tay as a guest judge on RPDR as a former Miss Michigan, and she should because she deserves. And once I found out Taylor watched Drag Race, it was over. I was like, oh, you thought she was a fan favorite now? Oh, honey. Oh, honey. Oh, honey. So, yes, she's going to be a favorite forever. And the fact that she lived for Shea Coulee. But yeah, I would be here for that. I do love Taylor. We'll get there in a second. But yeah, also we have a lot of shows to watch. Yeah, we have a lot of shows to watch, and we have a lot of things. Who brought up Taylor Swift? No, girl. Help Hans. Help that baby out. There's definitely there's Taylor Swift is not the only person named Taylor on this earth. Woo, girl. Do y'all want to know my honest opinions of the VMAs too? Because I can give those as well today. I saw the VMAs in full. I wish I hadn't, but I did. I did. Um, Where was I at? Yeah, we have a lot of content with Drag Race coming up, so my channel will be covered with that. Get ready for it. I will be covering Yellow Jacket season 2. As you know, I got into it without even knowing it was a great show. That will be on this channel. P Valley, when season 3 is discussed. There's another show. I think I want to start covering Marvel shows a little bit. I'm very nervous that once I start doing that, it's going to bring in some toxic people. But we're going to start adding a few things to this. But yeah, I'll leave Big Brother for in just a second because I have a lot to say about that. Why was Johnny Depp in a screen in The Moon Man making incoherent speeches? It was so weird. That's the one. Number 2. Nikki, your assistant, I don't know who it was. I was so mad they had that girl going to go get her phone. I was like, are you for real? I was very happy, and I thought that was really sweet. She brought those barbs up there. That may be the only time in their life they ever get to be in front of a microphone, in front of a camera crew, in front of all those people. I thought that was lovely. I am happy she won the award. I wasn't really her performance wasn't my favorite that I've seen her do, but it's been a while since, she's really been doing a lot. And the last time I think she performed was at the Essence Festival, and then we get on over here. So I was happy she did that. I'm glad she said Beyonce's name. Y'all leave her out of y'all's mouth, Barbs. But Bad Bunny kissed a dude and the world lost it. I don't I wasn't entertained. She wasn't she didn't lip sync the last song, which was there were a couple of in not every person's performance are they gonna do, I'm gonna sing this, I'm gonna rap that, because there's just dance breaks or certain like intervals in between so they can catch their breath and do a little side step, a little 1 2 1 2. So I'm not asking for Nikki to do everything through like it needs to be done, because I noticed that yes, there was a point of her lip syncing, and I think it was for Anaconda didn't have nothing but the backtracking with it and the dancing. And then for Freaky Girl, it was the first parts until she got up and did, yeah, I love it, and right, and doing the whole little bit, right? So that's fine. It was off for a second, but I don't know if that was her fault necessarily, because again, this VMAs it was very interesting. I'm trying to find nice things to say about it. Like Jack Harlow opening it up with Fergie. If y'all found that to be the girl, I don't care. I was happy Saucy Santana got to perform, but I was a little bit mad he didn't get to perform on the stage. I was like, why is he opening? Like, y'all know who this literal corseted big body bitch is. Why is she not on the main stage? I was a little bit pressed by that. No, I think Bad Bunny is bi or bi adjacent. He's a little bit more gay than Harry Styles is. That's for damn sure. But I'm happy that everyone likes Bad Bunny, and I'm not going to speak bad about him, because honestly, though, I can see where his fans come from, what his music does for them, all of it. So I have respect for him. I have not been moved by his music, and it's not saying his music is bad. I just haven't found a song that has really sat in my spirit to make me want to like listen to his shit again. Okay. His fans say he's sexually fluid, so I'll take their word for it. Okay. Okay. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Love what you like. If you like everything, do it all. Just don't hurt nobody. I don't have nothing against that. Um, I just haven't. Music today is interesting for me. Like, as you can see, I've been listening to Renaissance over and over and over again. So I'm still in my 90s hip hop. I'm still in my early 2000s phase. I'm still in the music that I kind of grew up with that I liked versus this new stuff. No shade to any of the new babies out there. I need a song that's gonna get me interested. Like Flo Millie's a new artist that I really like. B Flo Millie mix, sold. Immediate. Now I listen to all her music. I'm just weird with music like that. I'm still on my Sade shit. I'm still listening to Cherish the Day. Won't it won't have me run. Like I'm still into that. Like, the shower is on. I got a little Sade playing. I put on my $12 candle from Bath and Body Works, smelling like an entire spa, and not the nasty one with the but the one with the that one. Yeah. So no shade, but that's just me. And Flo Millie, something about her cutesy ootsy way of rapping doesn't sound like anybody else to me. And that's why I like listening to her. She don't sound like a soul. I don't hear nobody else's flow. I don't hear nothing from her, but oh my God. And then she goes right in and it's so nasty. So I'm like, oh, I live for this lady. But yeah. Yeah. So for me, no shade to the VMAs. It felt very much like an advertisement. It just felt like the Super Bowl, which is we're watching a game, but this is for advertisements and this is for promotion of new music. And this is that girl. I'm glad Lizzo said something about Ari Spears and his, bag of dirty laundry been left in someone's car for too long with the musty smell that it then impregnated the car with its awful scent to where they had to throw the vehicle away as a lemon. That girl. I was glad Lizzo said something and she did it classy. I don't have to do anything. I'm winning. And I've also found it weird how people were commenting on Lizzo's dress when she literally wore like a very custom couture gown and had multiple reasons for why the garment was so big. It was just very weird to see people so consumed with certain things. And also, people were mad at Iman for saying imitation is the sincerest form of flattery to Lil Nas X for him wearing basically the same outfit she did, but she wore it to the Met Gala. She was complimenting him. That wasn't shade. She was complimenting him. All right. Enough of the VMAs. Let's move on to the next subject. But yeah, I can't do it. Let's see here. Also, I'm late to this topic, but I'm so glad you, Oki, finally got ate up by the rest of the RPD or YouTube. I don't like commenting on other YouTubers, but bitch, you said something that was blatantly very much with a racial bias to it, and that was not okay. The fact that you even used the term without yelling too loud about being proud of someone's blackness was absolutely ridiculous. And it stemmed from a place of privilege and also a girl who hasn't been slapped yet. So, yeah. She deserved that dragging, and I was glad it wasn't just us folks of color and white and black girls either. It was the white girls came out and were cutting her up, and it should have been that way. Because it's like, oh, first of all, you ain't gonna come for Jada. 2, you're not gonna speak like that and think that you're gonna get away with it. And 3, no, this is the kind of content that people are accusing me of making that I don't make. I want y'all to very much understand that I get accused of giving that kind of tea. And that is not even close. And I was like, girl, are you for real? I heard of them many years ago, but once I saw a video where they were just I didn't like the comments on the Black Queens. They felt very pointed. I stopped watching them and I forgot about them. See, that's what I do, y'all. I don't get in comment sections and attack people. I just don't watch somebody. When their video comes up, I say, do not suggest anymore. I do. Okay. And I just don't. I didn't like it. I don't like it when Black queens in particular are being attacked. I feel very protective as a Black man for my own community of LGBTQIA plus people when it comes to our folks, where I need to step in and say something, read somebody, possibly pop off. I'm getting a little too old for that. But like in reality, yeah, Yeah, that's the case. There are YouTubers who do that. They have videos or channels that, they when they review is really just the worst of their jokes. And let me see how nasty I can get and say what I can say and say something very shocking to get people to like me because unfortunately a lot of people like that shit. They want to have shocking words. They want someone to make a fool out of themselves. And then people get trapped into this weird fenced in reality of thinking that there's supposed to be some dancing clown for people and they have to say just the corniest, the stupidest, and the most non-factual things to then add to the community. And it's like, bitch, you could have really did your research and gave us something, and you didn't. Some people have time and experience like myself where they can speak on things, and others may have done the work that they need to do. But I have noticed a lot of folks just randomly screaming into the air. When anyone accuses me of that, I mean, I can bring up my broadcast journalism history, the fact I've done radio, the fact that I've done TMZ multiple times. And that's not something that's ever really done before because TMZ has a thing about not bringing back people to seem like, we always go to different folks in areas. But when they had me on the call roll, hey, Matt, every month, hey, Matt, hey, Matt, hey, Matt, can you please come back? Harvey was requesting. He liked your commentary in the last video with Britney Spears. Did he now? Did he now? By the way. And when the girls are like, Maddie just talks about dancing. I was a backup dancer for 2 years, girl. I performed at South by Southwest, honey. I've been at a bunch of music festivals and sat next to you, some of your favorites, girl, that you think would give you the time of day, but would never breathe your air. Yes, bitch, me, her, that one. I am him. You know nothing of drag, honey. Raja did my face along with other folks. I've also been doing drag for, a little bit of my own time in the background here that you don't need to be a part of because my journey is going to be complete by the time you see this face fully done. On top of the presentations, the talent shows, the uh pageants that I have been in where I've been someone's background, back this, back doing that. Okay. I respect drag. That's why I talk about it. And I respect the process. That's right. And my drag mother is motherfucking Honey Davenport of the Davenport sister. And you can go down her list of children and see who I'm related to. So don't play in my pussy. Don't do it. Oh, someone link Chi Chi. Someone link Chi Chi to Miss Raja O'Hara painting my mug and getting me into my pizza flavor and teaching me about my tones and my skin and what I should be doing for stuff. I have 3 videos of me getting into full geesh on this channel. 3. And in different forms of drag for that. Campy face, regular daytime geesh. I'm trying to give realness face and full drag. Girl, I wish they would. And them 3 alone, I can just throw up. I can just do that. That's all I can do. I'm talking my shit because I can wipe it. But again, we about to get to BB24, Nayrick. Don't worry, baby. We on a roll right now, just talking about hot topics. Give me a second there, because I'm gonna drag everybody except for Taylor. A little bit of Monty. Nah, I'm gonna get Britney. Yeah, we're gonna drag some folks. But yeah. So again, that's why sometimes I just don't respond to people and I don't say anything because I've already done the work, and they just didn't do the work in looking me up. Google me, bitch. And I can say that now. It's actually funny. I actually can Google myself. I thought that was funny. I was like, oh shit. There I go. But still, I come before you humbly with the grace of God that I woke up this morning to be able to even say all these things. And I'm more than blessed because I'm still able to talk about this stuff, whereas my life could be somewhere completely different. So all glory be to him. Let's move on over to Big Brother before we go in. Oh, wait, the Britney Spears conversation. Before we do Big Brother, because I'm gonna spend a lot of time on that. If you have not seen or heard that 20-minute video of Britney Jean Spears putting on just by, oh my God. Okay. So there is JLC. All of you listening right now, after this live, I'm giving y'all homework. You may be able to still find it on YouTube. That's how I listen to it, but I don't know if it's still up there anymore. Okay. Now, we just talked about it. I thought it was insane. We were literally talking about Britney Spears on the panel and what she should do and all of that. And I'm like, I just want her to be happy and just speak her piece. And by I don't know if that was the Lord transferring that energy to her to be like, I'm tired of this, baby. Did I screen record that? I don't know if I recorded it myself because I was just very like, whoa, this is a lot. So listen. So Britney finally said, I've had enough. I'm about to spill the tea. She basically outed her dad, her mother, her sister, and brother. She explained how everything went down to the T and what's really scary is that she didn't tell everything. Like she kept some of the things like out, like, oh my God. So she basically verified that a lot of the stuff that was happening to her, she was not even being told of what was going to go down until she was like put into a situation where they basically had her cornered. Her father was using scare tactics to keep her in line. They were pumping her full of drugs. They were, she never retracted the audio clip at all. She's very much, she even got Jamie. Okay, now that I think I did take a picture of the message she sent Jamie Lynn Spears, who tried to get online and, basically say that Britney needs healing and she should have called me and da da da. I was like, really, baby? Really, girl? We're doing that today? Okay. So here we go. I'm gonna make sure. Let me see. I know I took a screenshot of that because they gagged me. Gagged. Yes, I have it right here. Okay, here we go. Okay. So she basically clarified and verified that her father was stealing from her, using their money, but it wasn't just the dad. You're not late for the BB24 conversation. We're doing this Britney Spears moment first, then I'm gonna do Big Brother for the rest of the night. Trust me. We're gonna talk about Big Brother. Her dad was got her diagnosed in particular, or had a doctor that was basically pumping Britney full of drugs. They were making her go to certain rehabs that she didn't actually need to go to get counseling that she wasn't even supposed to have. Nobody was explaining things to her, and every time that she was talked to, her father would be very much of the, you can't do anything because I have lawyers, and if we go to court, I'm gonna just make your life a living hell. Her mother knew everything that was going on the entire time. They were vacationing at Britney's vacation home while Britney was in an asylum. One more time. They are at Britney Spears' vacation home, her entire family, brother, sister, mother, dad, all of it. And I think she was saying they got to spend Christmas at her beach house while she was in an asylum where her father was putting her in. The Vegas tour, all of that, dad, all of it. All of it was her father. None of it was her. She said she didn't finally feel alive until she started recording Glory, and like she was feeling her voice was coming back to her. And that was when there was an incident with the Vegas show where she wanted to change the steps. They had to have a meeting off to the side, and then the show got canceled, and then she got put into an asylum again. Because this is just her talking. She hasn't taken them to court. She hasn't filed for any of that just yet. You understand what I'm saying? And also, you have to remind yourself, Liam, with a conservatorship and how that goes and just getting out of it, for her to get out of a conservatorship was probably one of the biggest feats that anyone can do in law, aside from getting away from murder. But you have to talk to OJ Simpson about that. However, she can take them to court if she wants to. She can do a lot of damage if she really wanted to, but it's also going to open up a whole lot of can of worms, and you already know how that's going to go for Britney in terms of like her dad and all this type of stuff. But honestly, it just verified that her dad was using her money, and he was using her as a tool and a device so he could live his life, allegedly. And her mother was complacent with this because she would be getting some money too, and she was willing to put her daughter's life at risk in order for her to be happy and not for Britney to be happy. And Jamie also as well wanted to take over Britney's life. And it's evidence now after Britney said all this. Let me tell you something. Remember that Disney concert when Jamie Lynn Spears came out there and she was doing the Britney medley, and Britney's face was like, "What is going on? Oh my God. What is going on?" That was happening around all of that. And Britney was not even cool with Jamie. And Jamie was up there. "I love you, sister." All of that. Her mother. "Isn't that lovely, your sister out there?" Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Your sister rolls up to a Disney concert looking like a brick phone. Because you know Jamie Lynn Spears is shaped like a Nokia 3360, okay? You know I am not lying. That girl is shaped like a USB cord. Are you joking me? Listen. Or the end of a USB cord. There we go. Can you imagine? A bar soap is up there singing your song, girl. I'd been wow. So, and mind you, if you watch that documentary on Hulu, which Britney has condemned, but there is some truth in that documentary about how her father, okay, was already telling her or letting them know, "I'm about to wear this little girl out and use her down." I believe everything Britney has said. I believe it all. I believe it all. Why would she just get on there and just say all that for no reason? She declined an Oprah interview. That girl could have got paid for that. But I also think what will happen is, and if Oprah does this, I'm gonna be pressed at a good old pantsuit. I'm gonna be pressed at Opie. I am. If Oprah interviews Jamie or the family, even with Britney declining the offer, she will be the snake of all snakes. I'm gonna put that down. There will be no journalistic integrity in that I can give her. Nope, nope, nope. When Jamie was interviewed, I was already like, really? And you saw how that smush face little lady looked like. Okay, looking like an ice cream pie that got ran over in the parking lot. The fuck. Um, Britney deserves better than this. While I know people are like, "Oh, she looks insane because she's dancing half naked and sharing her nude body." Honey, do you know what happens when you put somebody in a room and you give them no sort of sense of the world around them or social communication? It is literally like torturing somebody. Okay? So at this point in time, she can do what she want to do as long as she's not hurting nobody. And I want her to honestly, I really do. I just want her to just speak her piece. If you want to do a book, you want to do whatever you want to do, just speak your piece. I don't even want to know because it's messy. I want to know because I'm a fan. And I've loved Britney Spears as a fan since the beginning of her entire career. I knew of her from the Mickey Mouse Club when I used to watch as a kid because I'm that old. I bought her first CD. I bought all of the CDs up until Glory. No shade. That wasn't, I know the Britney fans will be like, that was her best album. It was not my favorite. But it was definitely my favorite from hers is still before the conservatorship. But I just want her to be happy. And I hate seeing somebody being used or taken advantage of by their own family like that. And that was always one of my biggest fears in life is that how my family treated me growing up would be all forgotten if I ever got really, really famous and everybody would act like we were the best of friends and life was good. It's like, no, we can't do all that. So my love goes out to Britney. If you get a chance, anybody, look up that clip. It may be on YouTube on someone's page. It may be on Twitter. I know a lot of people are reposting it and this, that, and the other. If you find it, please, for the love of God, do yourself a favor. Listen to the entire clip. You will be so welcome. She drags. And I can tell from the inflections in her tone in the way that she was speaking. She was in the bed. She was laid down, but she just was like, I got to get this out. So Kevin Federline is nobody. Oh, and before I get to BB24, the the message, because Jamie Lynn got on, line and was trying to, I'm praying for you. I'm praying for my sister, all that kind of stuff. And da 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 da. And then she even claimed that Britney tried to get her with a knife. But there's actual footage of Jamie Lynn Spears holding and brandishing a knife in a restaurant, going outside to break up a fight, because that's what she needed to show she was an aggressive lady, and that bear in the woods couldn't get her. Rawr, she went and got a knife and was threatening to stab people. But yet, Britney, you claim, tried to get you together and stab you. How? But you have footage of you with the knife brandishing it. All great, like, girl. So here comes here comes Britney. After Jamie posted the response after that 20-minute clip came to her, and she decided to do it. Rick, you're going to have to look it up. I don't have a link available for you. I had to look up the audio. See, Diggy is the first person to send it to me. Then I found a YouTube channel once the audio was removed. That channel is now down, but I've seen the video still posted by other channels. If the clip itself doesn't show it for 22 or 25 minutes, double check to make sure no one's just, bringing you into a video where they explain what she says and that you actually hear the audio. It's really sad to hear. But Britney Spears says on Twitter, Jamie Lynn, congrats, babe. You've stooped to a whole new level of low. I've never been around you ever with a knife, or would I ever think to do such. The only knife I ever saw you with at home was cutting the biggest pieces of squash I ever saw in my life, and it was way too big for me to cut. I want to do her voice, but I'm not going to do that. I love Britney. So please stop with these crazy lies from the Hollywood books. Now, and only now, I do know only a scum person would make up such things about someone. I'm actually very confused about you making that up, because it's honestly not like you at all. Around the kids? Jamie Lynn, seriously? Come on. Congrats on introducing your older sister the concept of getting low, lower, lowest, because you win on that one, babe. Trophy emoji. Oh, Gene, you're good. That was a gathering in a polite way, and as polite as possible. But Britney's family's trash. Go, Britney, go. I wish you nothing but the best, okay? I'll be buying that new album when it comes out. Now, on to Big Brother. Thank you for tuning in. If you got this far in this live, my name is Matty Rants. This is called a Rant With Me. I talk about anything and everything in the social media platform or on our reality TV programming. And we keep it in line with, of course, what I talk about here on my channel, which is lots of drag race shows and LGBTQIA+ programming. But this sort of live chat is just a way of me bringing in another set of topics and conversation, and including y'all in the live chat. So thanks for being here. There's 178 of you in this room. I love that. Hit the like button, please. Please. This is really important for my channel, especially as a minority on this channel. I really need y'all's help. And make sure after this video to get in the comment section, share this YouTube video on your Twitter platforms, your Facebooks, your Instagrams, whatever you got to do. All of that super duper uber helps me. And I appreciate all of you very much for being here. Drop a tip if you feel like it. My birthday's coming up. I'm going to be turning 35 again. And yeah, thanks for being here. I'm also moving too. What else do I need to say? Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Okay. All right. And now it's time for Big Brother. Let me tell you something right now. The reason why I haven't really ever given Big Brother time, energy, effort, experience, whatever, is because of what I have seen, what has been presented, and the consequences that didn't follow for a lot of these people who had to see folks on other shows almost like it's still a punishment. I will still never forgive Polly for bringing Dion's child up into the mixture. And the way he looked at her like she was some rabid animal, which is what a lot of people do, of the opposite persuasion in color, against someone like that to make them seem like they're out of line or crazy. I'll never forgive him for that. And I've never been able to look at him the same on the challenges or any other show for that matter ever. I will never let that go because you brought someone's child into it. You also played into the fact that she was a Black woman with a child. Oh, oh, oh. It was like, were they in the jury house when that happened? I was like, oh my God. I just said, this is Big Brother, and CBS is okay with this. It really confused me. And then I go online, and it's almost sickening to see the amount of people who are so invested in their own ignorance to not call out certain things, to say, well, how is that racist? The cookout was racist. Like, isn't that the whole point of racism? How do so many people not know what racism is? Or where it stemmed from? And how come everything that everybody is faced with, like oppression, is like a style or a trend that people want to have? Like, for some reason, you know, oh, don't get me started on Kimmy and how they treated her. Ooh, don't get me started. Like, that was some ugly shit. And then you had somebody who was POC who thought she was cool with the other folks there, making fun of her and shit. And meanwhile, she was being dragged too. Pfft, please, wanted sympathy after all that happened. Girl, bye. Um, I just don't have it. I'm reading comments, y'all, of people who, how when someone makes a statement that's really factual about something that's can be considered racist, and then instead of them answering your question, they give you a hypothetical back almost to disprove you. The point of hypothetical questions are things that actually don't exist. So it creates another narrative and a formation of a subject that then allows someone to either negate something or prove something to be right by a hypothetical. Because if that happened and when that was, what would we do? But that didn't happen. That's not what went down. People are calling that man a racist because he said some shit that racist people would have said. And if he's not racist, he has a racial bias for sure. Sorry, not sorry. He has biases towards towards races. What really doesn't help Kyle in his situation here, before I just start going on the show, he told us his grandmother was racist, and the religious background he comes from is known to be racist. I said, oh my God. See, this is when we can talk about it, when there's factual things and statements. This person has not actually come out and said that they were wrong. This is starting to look like Scarlet Adams all over again, because you see how Kyle is only concerned about how he looks, not about what he said. And Terrence, you are the worst kind of worst for how you are doing. Like, I have never seen a Black man hate a Black woman so much in my life. I'm wondering who Terrence's wife is at this point in time and what she looks like. I'm very invested right now, because there's no way you could be sitting in this household with these people. And we're not asking you to be aligned with the Black folks because you're Black. We're asking you to be a decent man in this moment and not insult a woman who hasn't done anything wrong to you except for put you on the block one time, in the one time that she's been able to. But you've been so obsessed with her eating food and the way she's walking around, and you even said some shit. I'm going to bring up these BBB feeds bullshit here because because Ron, why are you messaging on Twitter? Bitch, talk your shit, friend. I see you watch the live. I just had the most random message on my Twitter. I need to stay focused. I'm so sorry, y'all. That was the most random message I think I have ever seen in my entire life. Whoa. Let's just jump in before we go there. This season is Big Brother 24. Big Brother is supposed to be a social experiment reality TV show program where they put some castmates into a house, give them certain challenges that they must face. And with these challenges, people are then evicted based on the final two people that are left. The main person who is left in the household as the favorite wins the biggest prize, which this season, $750,000, is a lot of money. And of course, there's other prizes that come along with this as well for others, such as fan favorite, this, that, and the other. But This show involves us as an audience that are watching, whether it's UK Big Brother or Big Brother USA or Big Brother Canada, where we are judge, jury, but not fully the executioner unless we're asked to be. But we're all watching this happen, and it's live feeds. Now, the show airs Sundays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, right? But the live feeds are throughout the week, and the live feeds are not the edited version that we would get from a reality TV show. For example, if RuPaul's Drag Race, like they would film 16-hour days, let's say they don't give us an edited version of the episode and we just turn on our streaming devices or our TVs and there's a camera that's just sitting in a room and we're just listening on conversations. That's a portion of Big Brother. That's a turnoff for a lot of people. For me, it's my least favorite part because it's like the folks absolutely know that not only is America or whatever country we're in listening, but also they got to worry about people walking in the room and hearing them talk about other folks, which makes it so uncomfortable for me. Now, do I think I do good in this competition? Fuck yeah. Hell yeah. I may not win, but I definitely make it a top 6. I would go for the win, but my social game would be right. And I wouldn't play a big threat in the beginning. It would never be that kind of course. Like stay low, stay chill, work your social game up. Make sure you're not looking like you're going in between everybody. Only be in the know with a certain few and make sure that they're power players. And then once you get to a certain point, you know when you need to win HOH and send them bitches home. That's how I'd play the game. Like, I'm not going to come in swinging my dick in the first, 3 weeks. No. We going to wait till we get to a certain point. I will build an alliance up that needs to be a good alliance. I will have my secondary on form. And when everything needs to be done, it will be done. And never make myself the center of a conversation. Woo! That's the big one. Never make yourself the center of a conversation unless it's something positive. If questions are being asked that could be taken or misled or misconstrued, you answer in a vague way. You answer very vaguely. So there are a lot of people who I have seen get on the show and say, I know the game, I'm a super fan, I got it. But then they forget who they are as people and they forget that the real you gets to come out. Daniel, you're one of those people. You and Nicole the cop, Paloma. I don't even want to put Amira into this. You know what I'm saying? But Amira fell into the trap of not being a pretty girl to somebody who was prettier than her. That's just the truth. You may not like what I have to say today, y'all, but I'm going to keep it real. Amira, Jasmine, Indy, Paloma, all the women were jealous of her. I'm saying it now, and I fully stay in it. They were all jealous of her. You want to know why they were jealous of her? Because she wasn't bothered. She was very open, you know. She's very transparent, and I think that also is an issue for them because they assumed something. When Paloma had made that whole, you should have never told anybody you were a beauty queen. Who is that for? And the fact is, Monty, let's talk about it. You were interested. Matthew, do you want to go there? I do. So you thought it was messy that Taylor came and told you something that would have saved you. And instead, you went to the girl who you were actually attracted to, non-black, and made sure she knew that this one over, she's being a bitch. She's trying to tell on you. Really, Monty? Let's talk about the conversations he was having before they became cool, too. I don't want to put him into that I don't want to put him into that time frame or that bubble of black men that don't like black women, but can be cool with them. But it looked like that at the beginning. It really looked like that at the beginning. Why did everyone hate her? I still don't understand that. It's one thing about Big Brother that sometimes it's like, are we missing the feeds? Are we missing something that took place? No, we're not. Nothing happened. It's people, better yet, Taylor's living in a household full of insecure people. Boom. There you go. And their insecurities revolve around her. It's insane. And what makes me more sick is the fact that there are people who don't like Taylor because they like someone else in the house, and they see Taylor getting so much love that they can see their favorite disliking her, so that then consumes them, and they have no reason to dislike her either. Now, was Taylor's HOH almost a waste? Yes, it was. Absolutely. Did she not utilize her HOH the way she should have? For sure. Don't know what the fuck she was doing, what she was thinking. She could have played some moves. Girl, it didn't happen. I did not like her HOH run at all. Was it the worst thing in the game? No, it wasn't that deep. But I just don't understand why they're so nasty to her and they talk about her so grossly behind her back. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Let's just talk about who's left right now. Oh, don't you go. Don't you go, bitch. Keep my light right here. Thank you, Jeremiah. Thank y'all for the super chats today. I appreciate you. Now, Becky, thank you. You and my tip jar swirling around, sister. I appreciate your love. Drop a tip in my jar if you feel like it's paypal.me/MattyRants, Cash App $MattyRants, Venmo MattyRants. Thanks for being here. And thank y'all for the super chats. Please hit that like button. We had almost 200 people in this room. Let's do it. They hated her because everyone was insecure and bothered, and we're just projecting like, grow up. Imagine your body eating you up inside, your mind literally consuming you so much to where you have to quit a game because you don't want to face the reality of the situations that you were creating because your game was about to be blown up too. I'll continue. So left right now in the house, because Joseph was evicted because of Kyle, Alyssa, and Terrence, and Turner turned on Joseph. I also think that Joseph was a little too social for his game, and he thought he could play both sides very well, when in reality, he was more so showing his hand, okay? Jasmine was sent home because she was annoying. End of sentence. And also a hater as well, a big hater, a huge hater, huge hater. Such a hater. Oh, God, what a hater. Hater girl. You're a hater. And when they called you out, Britney and Taylor, and they got your ass together, girl, before they sent you home, when you lied about the alliance that you were a part of and tried to play like you didn't know what was going on, you look like a June bug out in the dirt rolling in shit because you didn't know what the fuck was going on with your, I'm going to throw a random Southern colloquial. Girl, what? She used to say the dumbest shit just because she knew she was from the South, and it was embarrassing to watch her do this, but also it was embarrassing to see a woman of color only want to associate with her white side of the family. Do you hear me? Which added more to the issues we were having with her disliking Taylor, a dark melanated woman. So when people are like, y'all are making shit up, honey, are you watching the same show, or are you just putting on your I don't see color glasses? Girl, listen. I ain't never seen nobody so determined to piss me off on a goddamn screen in my whole life. With that, you getting mad because someone bit into you. Okay, baby, I'm gonna stop talking. She was always the most mad she ever got was over food on that show. My ankle hurts, Julie. Meanwhile, I see you climbing up them stairs. I see you here for that. You ran out that door though when you were evicted. I thought your ankle was hurt. You had a whole limp. She got out that door, damn near walked up to Julie and jumped on top of her. Those were the two that were eliminated. So let's talk about who's left. Britney, you're only still in the competition because of Michael. Facts are facts. Michael, as much as I want to root for the other gay on the only gay that's still left on the show, you had very crucial information about something that was very, very, very racist and very biased. And even the fact that they tried to get an all-white alliance on the fact that they were building it up over the blacks and the people of color on the show rising up for another cookout, and they didn't want to do that. Michael, you're questionable. I get it for gameplay, but morals and ethics would have been where I would have stood first before my gameplay, because I would have felt very uncomfortable living in a household with somebody with that kind of feeling, and we're supposed to be in this enclosed experiment. And Big Brother CBS, this might, don't be mad at me for saying this, but I got to talk to y'all, because there is something about this that I don't feel very right about, especially with how Joseph needed to have a diary room conversation and y'all refused to give him stuff when he was being attacked by the other group. But then when Kyle ran, y'all jumped immediately. It really, really put some really fucked up optics into a lot of our heads, and I can't unsee that grace you gave somebody when somebody else was also going through something too. And also the reason for why he needed that grace is really what it's going to be the tea. Kai will be getting the most of my time today, that's for sure. So that was Michael and Britney. Michael, I just know he's playing a game, but he also has just done some stuff where I'm like, girl, you say you have morals and values, and then you do some dumb shit like this. So I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it with y'all, right? Okay. So where do I start? Alyssa has a man at home and is fucking some dude on national television, and then plans to break up with him because he may be associated with something that is not socially good for her game. I mean, okay. How many of y'all think Alyssa would have been gone already by now if she wasn't fucking with Kyle? She doesn't do anything. She doesn't do anything for the show. She doesn't add anything to the show. She adds nothing to it. She is literally like a blanket just sitting in the corner somewhere collecting dust. She's literally there as a vessel for 10 seconds. I would call her some kind of dumpster, but there would actually have to be a load put inside of it for it to be a dumpster. Y'all are welcome for that. Had a fun time playing with those words. I'm sure she didn't have a fun time playing with them nuts for them 10 seconds, child. She has no purpose to be there. She might as well be on Handmaid's Tale. Off Kyle. Who's holding her? Matthew? Could have gave him a napkin. Here you go. Alyssa, you're jealous of Taylor. You've shown, you've proven it. You've done all of those things. I watched you, Alyssa, sit there and get mad when Kyle was just trying to say congratulations to Taylor. Oh, that's enough. The fact that you took pleasure in hurting her feelings and also lying about Joseph to Taylor to mess with her brain, to damage her psychologically. I want to remind y'all that Alyssa actually looked at the cameras and spoke and said, America, I hope I haven't done anything wrong. Please don't be mad at me. What is see you next Tuesday? For somebody who literally rode the shortest dick ever in a competition for 10 seconds, what a record. Taylor hadn't even fucked Joseph. Do you hear me? You're the one opening your cat for live national television. Ain't nothing wrong with that either, boo. But if that had been your MO versus you saying you're a good girl and I got a boyfriend at home and all that kind of shit, girl, please. Girl, please. You're a disgusting bitch. Oops, excuse me. Allegedly. Matt, we're trying to get monetized here. But she is. She is definitely the version of the girl in school that made someone's life a living hell, who currently has a really great life now, who does not tell her children the truth about her life and how she lived. Everything that she tells people in her new life has been wonderful. I had no issues at home. Meanwhile, like, there's a ghost that visits her at night that reminds her every day of the note that she left in her locker that made her take her. That to Alyssa is to me. Alyssa's that girl in the movie who deserves to go. And you know why? Because they'll reveal it all through the movie. Mm-hmm. She's conveniently not hateful when it makes her look good. And then when it's popular, she's a gigantic ugh, because it's popular and everyone's talking and she wants to be included. So she's definitely a pick me kind of girl. Very much that energy. Alyssa's trash, dumpster. Kyle, coming soon. Turner, we were this close to being like, oh, Turner's one of the good ones. Turner being bi, Turner having a wife, Turner just, he seemed to be this hippy dippy kind of guy who looked like he didn't take a bath, but we sort of were enjoying him. Turner's a piece of shit too. Turner was talking mad junk. He literally flopped on Joseph, fucked him over. I mean, it was good for his game, but he definitely played that boy, played him. He has been doing nothing but campaigning to get Taylor out the house, saying how much he hates Taylor. Yet you're always right next to her in any situation where y'all are sitting down as a group talking or doing anything. Turner is a sneak and a snake, and he's a liar, and he gets to hide behind that tone. He can be an ally and also a part of the problem at the same time. Y'all better catch on. I was like, oh. So you think you're a weirdo and everyone's going to be cool with you now because, oh, but in reality, you're still for those things because you. I mean, there are liberals with conservative values, so pop off, but very much opportunistic in this moment. He's been playing the low radar very, very well. But I think that Monty is going to have to start really waking up early in the morning because he's being too kind to Turner. And I think Taylor is too. And I think Turner is a piece of shit. Once he called her aggressive, I knew in that moment that somebody who actually is aware of all these things, you know what I'm saying, is not only is he aware of it, but he knows that he is not fully capable of actually being an ally like that. I think Turner is only an ally when it works for him and when it's convenient for him and when it makes him look good. I think that this whole narrative that Taylor's a bitch because she eats chips and minds her business and may talk about herself, the only thing I can see them getting annoyed by Taylor with is the fact that Taylor sometimes can interrupt somebody when they're speaking. That's the only thing I can tell from everybody there based off the conversations that have been had on the full context and disclosure of it all, that sometimes when they're in group talks, Taylor does overtalk some people, or when they're talking, she'll be like, yeah. And it may be just where she's from. Isn't she from Detroit? So it's like, is that why y'all are mad? Is that the reason why you're angry that she does that? I mean, you can honestly just tell her that and she'll probably stop it. It's very weird. So Turner is a punk. I don't like him. It was very close to being like, oh, he's gonna be one of the only ones I like up in here, and he's just the real one, this, that, and the other. But you saw what happened when he got around Kyle, Alyssa, and Terrence. Wherever the wind blows, he gonna go. That's Turner. So I wouldn't consider him to be cool at all. At all. Who's next? Monty, it was I thought for sure I was gonna see Taylor go home and then Monty pull this whole, I wish I thought about this later kind of bit or whatever. And I see him getting close to the light now, but I also see Monty being sometimes really naive with his approach with people, and especially with like Terrence. Like Terrence would be isolated as far as I'm concerned. Like this beanbag walking around trying to be a DJ looking motherfucker over here talking about the way he talks about Taylor and the fact that he was trying to put you on the block. I would never be that close to that man. Monty plays a little too friendly for me. And he was very much down for dragging Taylor when the majority of the household was in on it. He was only interested in protecting Taylor when his name was starting to be mentioned and when the other group was starting to align themselves as players against him. So when Kyle then suggested the leftovers and, oh, we're bringing Taylor because she's being bullied. Oh, yeah. And then, of course, he gets to know her. But in reality, Monty, the only reason you were cool with Taylor is because of Kyle. And Kyle is the reason that why Taylor may be going home soon, because he doesn't like her because she's black. Ooh. Like, really? I don't understand. And someone's like, that's not what he said, man. He did not say that. Then why is the cookout such an emphasis for him? Why was race brought up so often? Why was that such a crazy big deal for him to deal with something like that if it wasn't the case? Why couldn't they just talk about them as players, though? Race was brought into the conversation by Kyle, not by anybody else, baby. If you're going to have these arguments with people about it, you have got to come correct. All right? Thank you for the super chat, Jay. Since we can't call a duck on this platform, let's give it another super chat. Also, now that Turner has flopped, Tay has secured America's favorite player. Her career is going to skyrocket after this. Oh, yes. And, I think that maybe, I don't want to say production has hinted this to some of the guests, but I think they have. And I think that's another reason why there's some jealousy that's been put into play. Or Taylor has maybe alluded to this. I was happy that Monty had a conversation today with Terrence about his feelings towards racism and dealing with the clear divide and the clear bias that is put in place from black men to white men, this, that, and the other. But I just wish he didn't have that conversation with Terrence, who is not going to hear it from the perspective that he's looking for, especially since Terrence is now, I feel, a performative black man. Yeah, we're going to get there in a second. So we're moving past Monty now. We already know Taylor is amazing. I can talk about her later. We did Michael, we did Britt, we did Turner, we did Alyssa. So I guess who's left is Kyle and Terrence, who are my least favorite people in the house right now, even over Alyssa. Like, those two are my least favorite. So we'll start with Terrence first, who we've decided to call Trash Panda. Yeah, we're gonna call him Trash Panda. I've never seen the physical embodiment of Uncle Ruckus in my entire life, and who knew it wouldn't even be one with a Southern accent? I cannot believe the disdain I see from this man to Taylor over nothing. The willingness to get rid of Monty for his game for nothing. Like, everything feels very strange with Terrence. Nothing feels right or weird. I also find it very weird how he's trying to protect Kyle in this situation and saying that, how is Kyle going to learn from this moment if we send him home? What do you mean? So we're going to send Taylor home over Kyle? Is that what's going to happen? That would make no sense. None whatsoever. Uncle Ruckus literally is up there campaigning to keep Kyle in the house over Taylor. I kid you not. I kid you not. After this man proposed an alliance that wouldn't even involve Terrence. And he literally proposed an all-white alliance that wouldn't even involve Terrence. God, it just doesn't make any sense for me. I personally think, based on certain things that have happened, her jury management will be fine. I think a lot of people are going to vote for her out of spite because they were also not wanting her to win. But when they see how everything took place for them to get to jury, for all that to happen, and knowing that Michael was the mastermind of all, to say if Michael and Taylor are sitting up there in the top two, they're going to vote for Taylor. And even if she doesn't win, she will get America's favorite player. So she'll still leave with something. Terrence makes me very uncomfortable because Terrence reminds me of people who are apologists for racists that are also black. And it's interesting because when I see someone like him, what's up, House of Tega? It reminds me of my time at Woodlands High School compared to Westfield High School. When I went to Woodlands High School, the population of black students there was 1%. 1. And microaggressions were used against me every day because there were more than one person named Matthew in a class. I'd be referred to as Black Matt or Black Matthew. I've had many racist slurs being thrown at me and having the principals, teachers at that school completely dismiss it, having to bring my mother involved and do all that kind of stuff. Then when I went to Westfield High School, which I spent the majority of my school year with, that was the first time I went to a school, and it is the truth, the first time I went to a school that was multi-diverse with a completely different set of ethnicities and different people that were there. The percentage of a 1% Black population in school was then flip-flopped to where it was 30% Black, 25% Latino, Hispanic, 15% Asian, and then it was Middle Eastern was like 9, and the white percentage was at a 1. It was the first time I went to a school where everything flipped, and it blew my mind. And the way things were treated were completely different. So like at the school in the Woodlands, because I was one of the only Black people there, they could say whatever they want to. At this school at Westfield, I was now not just the Black. I wasn't like the Black one because we all Black up in here. I'm bright. I'm light skinned. Oh, literally didn't even hear any of those things unless it was in my household until I got to Westfield. And I was like, oh, and that changed my perspective on a lot of stuff. I learned many things, and I'm still very thankful that. And I actually hated the idea of going from Woodlands to Westfield because I was like, oh no, it's not going to work. No. Best thing to ever happen, because I learned a lot about not only my community, I learned a lot about my community when I was up in there. I learned a lot about stuff that I wouldn't have learned with a predominantly white class group that as a Black person I wouldn't have gotten, up there. So it was important for that to happen. And Terrence gives me weird trash panda behavior. He gives me I climb into a tree with 3 kids on my back tees. He gives me, you caught me, I'm in your dumpster. He gives me rabies. And so I don't like Terrence apologizing or speaking on behalf of Black people in that house to Kyle or to anybody else. I really hate how he's talking. I'm reading the feeds. I'm listening to the lives. Stop speaking on behalf of all of us. Stop speaking on behalf of us. I can't speak for every Black gay man out there. I can't speak for every Black man out there. I can't speak for every Black woman. I can't do that. So like, how are you gonna say that? The fact also that Britney was talking about optics and all this type of stuff to Kyle too, and everything else like that. Lady, you're not going to speak on this either, because you was a part of this problem of just a couple weeks ago as well. You also sat on this information about an all-white alliance and didn't do anything about it. So, as much as I wanted Terrence to be a player that I liked, once I saw him aligning with Daniel and Nicole, I knew who he was. I knew who was going to be his voice actor. I saw him in the Boondocks not too long ago. I already knew that was going to be the case, and I wasn't wrong. That's enough to let you know that's the performative type of stuff where they think the extent of Black people is in Barack Obama. I just want that to be clear. Like, okay, we definitely don't stop there, but pop off, do what you do. Now, I don't like Terrence. Terrence is gross. He gives me very Candace Owens energy, and I don't like him. And he also gives me performative in Black spaces where if I'm around my folks, I'm gonna be like that, but you give me snitch. You give me snitch. I even heard him talking about watching Love and Marriage Huntsville, and I was thinking to myself, so I like how are we mistaken here? How is this different? How are we doing this, But the person who we need to talk about, the person who we really need to talk and give our full piece to is Kyle, who has been nicknamed 3Ks Kyle on Twitter appropriately. Kyle, in his paranoia, assumed because he wasn't in the room at the time with all of them, and he thought, oh, all the people of color are together, this is kind of scary, that, he doesn't want what happened last season to take place this time. And he says that, what they did was respectable, but he doesn't want another black winner again or a person of color to win. Basically, you all can put it in whatever terms you want to put it in. That is the end all be all of it, honey. No, he just doesn't want that to get together. Really? Okay. All right. Oh. Ignorance tastes blissful, doesn't it? I guess. He presents this idea to people. It comes, it's transferred. Michael knew about it. Britney knew about it. Didn't say anything about it. Meanwhile, he is pulling all of his alliances together. Now, isn't it interesting how he got Terrence involved? His black card, so to speak, his ace in the hole, to be a part of that because of the dislike that they had towards Taylor. The fact that Kyle would roll his eyes after speaking to Taylor and make faces, but while in her face, he was very excited and happy. I need to remind y'all, Kyle is of the same religion as Julie from the real world. Kyle is very much verified his grandmother is a racist. They even have video of him online, with, our good sis, Terry. I forget our baby's name. It's a guy who does these funny clips for Big O or whatever the hell that thing's called, and TikTok. And he did something that was questionable in that TikTok. And it was supposed to be a joke, but it's the way Terry Joe stopped and was like, okay, wait, why was that the emphasis? Because it was on color. And what did he do? Oh. So I want it to be very clear that we as an audience are watching everything. And the fact that Big Brother continues to cut the feeds when the conversations start to get deep is very telling for what the network is trying to do. Joseph literally was being dragged, and for no reason at that. He couldn't get his shit together, but being dragged. And definitely needed to have a diary room conversation. You ignored him. But when Kyle, with the evidence that you have been hiding, has now come into a full blow up because of the fact that his game got spilled, because Michael was like, I'm gonna have to save myself, because he knew he was gonna be up very soon. So he wanted to spill Kyle's tea, which Kyle then spilled Michael's tea. Luckily, Monty left unscathed from that, but he got lucky. But because of that, because Kyle's whole agenda was put on the map, Kyle has a breakdown. Now is separating himself from people. He starts to eat by himself. I'm going through this emotional moment because now that he's been called out for his racist behavior, he's having trouble. He's going through it. Coddle him. Spoiler girl on Twitter, I was with you up until, you guys, mental health is everyone knows mental health is a real thing. You know how bad mental health is stigmatized in the Black community? You don't, do you? You asking how Taylor's mental health is as a Black woman in this competition where even Black men are attacking her for no reason at all and through microaggressions? Are we having that conversation? Oh, okay. All right. I'll continue. So Kyle needs to go into the diary room to talk to them for 3 hours during this movie night situation, right? And he comes back out and he's still low energy and all that kind of shit. Meanwhile, Alyssa's hanging out with other people, already talking about, I'm gonna break up with him and do all that, playing face and Kyle and stuff like that and all the other. Taylor, who doesn't even need to speak to Kyle, especially after what Kyle said, done, doing, targeting, all that. Still speaking to him. Okay, what a class act. I think that's why they really don't like her, is that even when they're disgustingly nasty to her, she is still able to smile on their face and still put on a good, and just move on with it. Okay. So there was an issue that happened recently because Taylor and Britney were on the block for this current week that's coming up. And of course, we're not trying to see Taylor go home as the fans know, right? But this was done in an effort to sort of go with Kyle's wishes and as well as Terrence's wishes, and Turner, who is the HOH at this time, who does not like Taylor, even though he acts like he does. Okay. Michael, shocker, wins the veto. Michael doesn't use the veto on Taylor. He uses it on Britney, who is supposed to be his number one, even though he wants to be up against Britney, because if it was a final two situation, Michael feels he has the votes. Okay. They then replace Britt with Kyle. So you took Britney off the block, put the guy who's now under fire for his racial comments, left Taylor up there where those comments were actually kind of directed at her specifically, as well as Monty and Joseph, who he has already targeted one of the POC folks that he was going for the second one. So, Michael, can I tell you what the optics look like? Not in your favor. Not in your favor. Y'all, I understand you may not want to have a conversation about something like this, but I live this life every day. I have to wake up as a Black person every day, and I love and I live and I breathe for it. But when I see people getting upset that, oh, he's talking about this again, it really makes me sick that you won't allow me to exist. Unfortunately, for a lot of us people of color and Black folks, this is our reality. We are not privileged enough to sit and stand in places where it does not affect us every day. I live in Texas, sweetheart. Okay. I just want to be clear here, because I know sometimes when I get into these conversations, oh, it's not about drag. It's not about Gottmik. It's not about Aquaria. No, it's not. And I unapologetically have these conversations, okay? All right, I'm going to keep going. Michael knew what Kyle was doing. Michael knew the whole bit. Still did all that. And so right now, the optics just look really fucked up. And even Turner, who is, of course, riding with Monty, is like, I wouldn't have done that. I would have taken Taylor off and then put Kyle on. No one's voting for Britney. Like, so you left Taylor up there almost like, who we gonna see who gonna vote for Taylor? We know it's gonna be Terrence. We know it's gonna be Alyssa, even though she said she's gonna vote Kyle out. No. I need y'all to be very clear. I think the reason why Michael wanted to do that is the fact that I think he wanted to do that so for two reasons. One, he can find out who wanted to vote Taylor out to make a clear divide in who is left in the household so they know who to target immediately. That's the one. Because if they get Kyle out and keep Taylor, which is probably what he wants to do, we can see who the votes are for Taylor. Oh, next on the list. And just leave it at that. And then once they're out, we can just go and do what we got to do. It needs to be 5-0, but I guarantee you it is going to be 3-2, like Lindsay is saying here. Thank you, Jay, thank y'all for the super chats. Y'all have been on it today. I appreciate the support and the love. Thank you, Jay. You've been up in here. I appreciate you. Thank you. Tayler was the only one watching out for the Black people in the house, even when they hated her. And the women. Don't forget, Jay, and the women. Tayler didn't even want to send. I don't want to be responsible for putting another Black girl on the block, and I'm a Black woman. Do you know people on Twitter were calling that racist? And it's always those speaking who have never faced oppression or felt the actual realness of racism. I'm not referring to, like, someone said mayonnaise, scream. I'm talking to, like, systematic racism. I'm talking to, like, shit that's actually affecting people in the workforce, in schools, education, that kind of stuff. You ain't never experienced something like that. So, like, what are you talking about? Y'all, these points on Twitter. I get so frustrated reading people's comments thinking they're intelligent. It's fascinating how many words someone can write in an empty stomach and an empty mind. It's fascinating. It's like, oh, you just must have a thesaurus right next to you, huh, baby? I don't want to listen. The reason why I don't like Survivor, nothing about living outside is going to make me want to do anything. Baby, I'm over here crying when I see a homeless person. Like, God, like this baby in a house, 8 outside in the heat on an island somewhere with some random animals and shit. No, ma'am. And then we not eating right too. So let me tell you something. So we got to do a whole physical challenge. Okay. I need activity in my life. I don't want to be outside. We got to do a whole physical challenge. If we don't win, we not eating good. Hell no. I got to sit outside with these. Where's the water? Where's the bottled waters at? I can't do it. Couldn't do it. Those shows, Naked and Afraid. I'm not meeting a stranger butt ass naked on an island where I now have to find things to survive, and I can only bring one item with somebody who I don't even know if they're gonna be musty or not. Can you imagine? They're gonna put you on a show with somebody butt naked and they musty, and we gotta survive out here. Cancel. I don't want the money. We good. I like my sense of smell too. Ain't no way. And I know my body. I need a shower. This toe to tip? No, I need a shower. I left the circle alone. It's not entertaining to me anymore. I don't know. Something about the catfishing aspect of it. That first season was right with God, but I tried watching the other ones and I just didn't. I think it's also the casting too. I didn't really care. I was like, oh, it's like, that's not what I want. It's not what I want. Amazing Race as well. So we're going to run through all these countries and just do these challenges, babe. If I'm going to a different country for the first time, I'm immersing myself into the experience. I'm want to be respectful to the culture. I'm not going to be just running through someone's kitchen. Give me the clue. We got to eat this. Ew, that's like that's another thing too. When you go to someone else's country, it really bothers me when I see people making faces or being like disgusted by the food that is something that is so common to those that live there. And that's literally their everyday life and a delicacy, if that, for them. And you're over here vomiting. Ew, how disgusting. Can we get a burger and some fries? Like, that shit really bothers me. Like imagine somebody from a different country coming over here and telling you your shit is shit. It's like you would feel some kind of way, right? So why would you do that to somebody else? Also, another thing I have to bring up, I know this is like so off topic or whatever. I don't like seeing travel videos of these certain kinds of men that travel to different countries and how they talk to like street vendors. I really hate it. I hate it so much. You know, before, and may he rest in peace, Anthony Bourdain left us, I was obsessed with those shows where he was traveling to different countries and trying new foods and immersing himself in the culture. I've always wanted to do that. If I could have a show like that, please, that'd be great. But something about that disrespect, it just doesn't lead. It's like, what the fuck are we doing here? Like, how, really? But back onto Big Brother. I don't know why I got into that. Maybe I was talking about ignorance and bullshit, and it just got me there. This season, I'm gonna jump back into. it. I'm happy it's getting back on the course again, but something about that diary room conversation, something about the way I feel production's been going with this season, and then I started to notice when I looked at other seasons. Thank you for putting it on Paramount Plus, Big Brother, CBS, because you low-key, honey, you kind of incriminated yourself with letting us see all those episodes like that. Baby, there is so much evidential proof of production getting involved and saving certain folks that don't need to be saved. Oh, and I feel like that's what they're doing with Kyle. And if Kyle somehow survives and Taylor gets evicted, I'm not only am I not going to be able to watch the show, I think I will dedicate my life to talking shit about it forever. I don't even need Taylor to win. I just wanted, low-key I do, but also the reason why I want her to win is because of how people have been treating her and because she seems to be the only genuine person in the house. Oh, I know. Oh, I know it did. Oh, I saw one season in particular, baby, calling people gorillas and stuff and all that. Oh, yeah. I saw the other seasons, but at the same time, I want to be shocked, but I can't. So I won't. That man looked like a whole Minecraft character talking about somebody. A whole Minecraft character. It looked like you could throw a giant walnut in his mouth and it would just break. And he was talking about folks. Meanwhile, he gives you the third portion of an incestuous relationship. Okay, like the fuck you mean? You're giving me my cousin's dad slept with his sister, and now here I am. Oh yeah, and I'm gonna tell you this as a gay man, if they had me in, oh, oh, them live feeds would be cut. We had to remove Matthew from the house. I'm afraid Tim is in the hospital. You guys make sure they would probably make it seem like Tim didn't even say nothing. I just attacked him, trying to make it a whole thing. I'd ruin them. And that's the only reason I'm very leery about Big Brother. I love to be on the show. I have the game played down. I have a good social game. I know how to play it, but it's the people that they're choosing that is making me nervous. And it's almost like, are y'all not doing any research on these people? Like to see if what they're saying is actually that or if it's just very contextual in the situation. Like, help us out. No. And no. I did not. No, that. So, listen, I'm going to keep watching. I'm going to hope for the best. Last season was still the best season. They can be mad for the reasons why it was, claim it for one other thing, but it was good for multiple reasons. But no, I'll keep watching. I'm going to keep looking at it. But yeah. I think that's it for me today, everybody. That was 2 hours of a nice long conversation in chat. I have given you all 2 hours of being on a live with my bonnet on my head. Please hit that like button. Please. Please hit that like button. For sure. Please hit that like button. Of course, first of all, whenever that voting starts, I'm going to be one of the main people on Twitter, like losing it. It's going to be very Renaissance energy. She deserves it. Taylor deserves it. At least if she doesn't win, America's favorite player for sure, because we had her back. Oh, you know what? Let's do that. 15 minutes of questions. Yeah, there we go. Thank you, Nidra. Remind me. Y'all can ask me anything you want for 15 minutes, and I will answer your questions, and I will try to make sure I do that. If it's personal, it's fine. But yeah, we'll do that. 15 minutes of questions before I go. Since this was all like TV stuff, and y'all can get a little personal side of me right now, and whatever I feel comfortable talking about. That would be respectful because I'm not going to drag anybody. Yeah. And thank you for being here. They did refund a portion of it. They did not pay for the entire Uber, so I'm not happy with them, and they got an unhappy face for me. Yeah. It's not really going right now. Like I have my suitcases up and everything and all that stuff, but I get very depressed when I have to look at my clothes and start folding and stuff. And so I'm trying to get out of that headspace, which is why tomorrow again, I'll be posting my Drag Race Philippines reaction, but I won't be going live. And yeah, it's been a very weird mind situation for me. I hate that I use that word. It sounds very much like ALR, but me and my therapist have been on kind of every week now versus every 2 weeks because I've needed it. I didn't realize how this much would be affecting me because of how much I had to do. I think I've developed something from that, like a little trigger from these moments. And I crave, I crave stability right now. Like I'm yearning for it. I really, really am craving it. So I know C Diggy through Alexander Diane Rogers is how I met him because me and Alex were cool and talking via the phone. And then when I went to go visit Alex in New York City, that was when I got to meet his co-host C Diggy. So funny because Alex didn't have a co-host until me and Jamar were doing our videos, and he thought to himself, he was like, man, you think I would work good with somebody? I was like, yeah, bitch. He's like, I was thinking about getting somebody to talk to too, and I was like, you see how it is with banter. When you have a banter that's back and forth, it's just fun to have conversations that way. Like you can hold a show, I can hold a show, but when you have a banter with somebody, Chris came into the picture. So then I met Chris the first time I got to physically meet Alex. When I went to New York City and I was staying at Alex's apartment, and Chris came over there. And my first time meeting Chris was the day that we did that live, the pop roast, or right, the Leslie show. It was one of those. And that was my first time meeting Chris, and we were sitting next to her. Yeah, no, I'm sorry, sitting next to him. You know what? I was not gonna answer this, but I'm in the mood to answer it, and I'm gonna give you my version of that story. She will probably tell you something different, and I respect her for doing that. But Mimi's not on my channel anymore because Mimi felt that I was talking badly about her on the live before I went to DragCon. I was expressing my frustrations with a lot of the drama and stuff that was happening prior to that over some last minute things that made me uncomfortable. And I was expressing that without saying her name. And I was talking about it because I was stressed. I wasn't saying she was a terrible person. I wasn't talking about her negatively. I wasn't being mean or nasty to her in any way. I watched the live again. I had to rewatch it because of the stuff she was sending me and telling me and threatening to hit up Dooley and all of them, because, you know, times that I vented my frustrations about my friends, I vented them to Mimi. So she was ready to go ahead and just have all my friendships gone. She wanted to take my channel down, threaten me via text messages, all that kind of stuff. I talked to her. I wasn't going to engage in the arguing back and forth like that. I still love her down. I wanted to talk to her about the situation. I wish I did it differently. That is my biggest regret with that moment, is that instead of me venting about what was happening around us, I should have just talked to her directly about it. But when I tried to before, I kind of got met with something where I felt uncomfortable about it, and it was done the wrong way. I handled that incorrectly. But she then went on Twitter after many people were sending me screenshots, and she was saying that I made it about a service animal, which she then told me about maybe 4 to 5 days prior to DragCon as something she needed to do. And when I asked her about that situation, she got a little upset, and she thought I was basically saying she couldn't take her dog, and that wasn't the case. I just was wondering, when it hadn't been discussed before, why now? And that was my only issue. So you can see it. A lot of people were sending me those screenshots. Literally, she was talking about me. Oh, if they only knew who you really were, if you only knew all of this, I did all this for you. You made this all about a service animal. I did not. The issue was a lot of stuff was happening prior to DragCon that I already was under a lot of stress for. And then when she brought me with all of that, it really wasn't her. It's just, it was a lot of stress because I'm thinking, well, I got Mimi to do this, I got to do all that. Then the photography situation for the panel situation was a big deal. You know, I thought she was going to be helping us with that, but I think she felt like I was using her, and that was the term she was using a lot. And if, to be very honest with y'all right now, I'm just going to be very real with y'all. She has used that narrative with me. I also was at a point in time in my life when I wasn't doing so well with YouTube, and I depended on Mimi a lot. And I asked her to help me out with some stuff. You know, I ain't got this and I ain't got that there. And she sent me some money a few of those times. So I'm not going to take that away from her. She can certainly feel that way about me. But in those moments, I wasn't trying to or doing that. We even had a conversation. Sweets, you asked. So here you go. Here you go. Because, you know, I've been avoiding this for quite some time. I continue to see stuff that's being said about me, and I'm just like, come on now. So I am the most sad, if I'm going to be honest with you, Sweets, that I'm no longer talking to her. I have cried deeply over it. Broke my heart. I love that lady. And I did not do right by her by having that moment online when I did, because I was just so over it. Even with me not saying her name, she knew I was talking about her. And I can't take that feeling that I gave her away. And she didn't deserve that. But all that came after it told me something about it. And I haven't been able to get past that. So I'm sad that ended, but I wouldn't have gone that route if it had been the other way. And so with all of that, it was like, okay, so we moved past it. She blocked me on everything, since most of y'all can see that. You've asked why she isn't on the channel anymore. That is why. So I'm trying to respect her, and I didn't even want to talk about it, but you're not the first person that's continued to ask me that question. But she made it about me using her. She was threatening to take the press pass away right when I walked to DragCon, talking about the pettiest thing I could do is take this pass away. Because Mimi believes that I didn't deserve that pass or earned it from my channel. She basically was saying because she applied for it the last time, that's the only reason we had it, and that my channel didn't have anything to do with it. That was a very thing I didn't like to hear. But after speaking with the people, when I got my badge and I was asking them questions, they were like, no, we know who you are. Hence the reason why I said those things. But I'll be honest with y'all, me saying this, I know someone's going to run back with it or whatever, and she's going to go off and do all that, and that's fine. And, it's sad, and I still love her. I'm not doing this as a way of attacking her or putting that in. That has been on my shoulders and on my chest since DragCon. That is the reason she didn't go to DragCon, was because of that. She felt like it's going to be too big in her videos. Y'all sent me the clips. That's not going to be big enough for the both of us. All of that stuff she was saying, all of it. Yeah. So she hates me right now. She told me, she said, I hope you know or find out what real love is, because you don't know it. And yeah, so she has every right to feel that way. Fucking loved her, and it really sucks because it's almost like she made it seem like I didn't give a fuck about her the entire time, and it really bothers me with certain friendships that I have, that sometimes I can't be upset at them or mad about something and then come back with it. It's like an end all be all. And the fact, it was a lot. And so I still wish her well. I wish her the best. I will continue that. I will continue that narrative, continue in place. I was wrong for venting about our situation. I should have that conversation with her. But the way she made it seem like I was attacking her, like, it was like, no way. It wasn't even close to that. It wasn't even close to it. So it just blew my mind. But I also felt that she had some things she was holding against me from our previous times of not getting along, and it just came out that way. So I send her nothing but love and nothing but the best. If y'all still follow her, support her down, listen to her show, give her nothing but love. I refuse to be on the end of a war that I didn't want to start, or a war that wasn't supposed to be. I love her, and I will always love her, even though she says I don't know love. I know love. But I also know that I didn't give her the love she deserved in that moment. And she deserved better than that. I miss my interesting Puerto Rican sister a lot. And a lot of stuff happens for that. I miss my morning conversations, all of it. I miss it a lot. So if we're never going to be friends again, we'll never be friends again. But if I could talk to her, I would tell her sorry, like I've done before. But also I would be like, hey, like let's just get it out, because I have friends like that now, where we do have to go behind somebody and go, I'm sick of her for this, that, and the other. But at the end of the day, we come back around like, hey, so I was mad at you for this. And then we explain it like, oh, well, that's what that was about. Well, I was upset for this. Well, this is what happened. Oh, and then we moved past it. So I feel like I cut her a little too deep in that. And so I respectfully walk away. But I'm actually happy you said this, Sweets. I'd rather have been honest and talked about it versus just let it be, and somebody's throwing a little shade and somebody's doing this. I'm like, no, I don't shade her. I don't wish her ill will. Like, Mimi's worked really hard for her life, and anything that good that comes her way, she fucking deserves it. She can think I'm bullshitting. She could be flicking off her computer right now, telling me to go fuck myself. I wish I could. But no, she deserves the best, and I will hold that narrative for the rest of my life. It was good. It was a good date. I had a good time. Yeah, I don't ever want to go to the Galleria again, but I had a good time. It was a decent date. I was appreciative of it. Thank you, Sparkling Alien. The Rant Pack will always be here for you. Again, I don't want anybody rolling up on her doing like, please don't. I will cuss you out if you do that. You want to know? That's the truth. That is there it is. That's the truth. So I wish we had a different relationship, and I wish that when I was frustrated, I was able to convey what I had to say to her, and versus just being like, something happened, you guys, and I was upset, but then I got it all done, and Jesus got me, and da 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 da. And in reality, I'm talking about the frustrations that took place, and that wasn't fair. That's not fair. It's not fair. She didn't deserve that. She didn't, because I don't like when people do that. So by all means, she has points, and I take full accountability for that and responsibility for the situation. So if you don't like me after that, that's fine. I get it too, but that's what went down. And you can even see it in the video when it does take place, in that DragCon video before I go, where I'm looking at my phone and I'm reading a message that she just sent me, and I'm like, oh my God, and I start getting emotional. So, and it was right around the time I hit 20K. It was right when I hit the 20K. So in case you are wanting to get some more insight on that, if you're one of those Matty Rants deep divers, so you know where you can fit, that's the video. That's the one. You can watch the whole thing through. There it is. Right. And it's interesting because I had to get Nidra to come help me out with filming, which thank you so much, Nidra, for that, because I thought Mimi was going to help. And when she said she didn't want to, I asked Nidra to do it, and it turned into a big thing. And I was like, but I just asked somebody else so you wouldn't have to be worried. You know? So I thought Mama was a little, I think she, you know, I love her. So I won't put her down. I refuse. I will take, I'm taking it. I'm taking the L. So I took an L. Yeah, I took an L that week. I missed my friend. So I'm hoping nothing but the best for her. I always wonder what she's doing, because, you know, that's how we used to operate. And yeah. Any other questions we can answer? Oh yeah, that's going to come out around DragCon UK. So I'll just go ahead and tell you that now. If I released it now, YouTube wouldn't pay that shit. I was told by somebody who, I'm not going to say what they work for, but you should know who they work for, who was like, I think it would be better for you if you did it around the end of the year or when DragCon UK starts. And I was like, you sure? He says, oh, trust me. You're going to need to post it then, because it'll make more sense, and then it will follow through with that. So I was like, oh, okay. So technically, I have things that are edited to go, but I'm also going back to those things, and I'm like, let me fix this. Let me fix this. Let me fix this. Oh, I don't like that. Change that up. This goes to Patreon. This goes to YouTube. And then remember I told you I filmed an outro and a in between part, or the disclaimer. That's what I've been actually working on now. So a lot of stuff that y'all don't know, that I don't discuss, I work on by myself, because I don't know if that's the Virgo in me or if my Gemini side, but there are portions where I have to do things very without any opinion. I can't have no one jumping in. And so those videos right now have been one of those key sources of my creativity I've been working on, and I've been taking my very meticulous time with it, as well as my brows for drag and my eyes for drag and the full bit of it. I'm also debating on shaving this beard off. I've been working on some things. After I don't want to be that girl, but I will go ahead and say it. Queen Kong has inspired me to really start focusing on my drag. I'm gonna tell y'all this now. Yeah. Because I'll do it and I'll be like, oh, I got too much going on. I can't focus on it. I'm gonna do it. Oh, I can't focus on it. Baby. Something about Queen's energy has got me like, oh, girl, I have got to get in. I have got to stop bullshitting. Especially as a performer, and how much I love to perform. Love to be on the stage and cutting up. I was like, oh God, I have to hurry up. sooner or later my knees ain't gonna work, and I would like to still have my mega knees ready if I want to get on the stage. Okay, so oh, I feel bad I talked about Miss Mama, but I didn't want to. I just want to be honest, and I hope she doesn't take what I said recently or this is being negative or anything like that. I just want her to understand that I do love her, and I wish we could have talked it out, but at the same time, like, you know, um, I want to address something too that I've started to notice, and I was able to package this deal a little bit to where I could start to see, you know, where only people speak in certain things. You know, with the panel was something me and Jamar did, and started off with the Matt and Mar show, and when we were in Houston together before Jamar and me moved, you know, across the country and back and forth, right? And Miss Parker. There are going to be times on the panel where I'm not here for the shits. I'm going to tell you this right now, especially when I'm given information privy to the panel where it's y'all going to come in here and act up and talk over people and be rude about it or whatever. In those moments, I might have to check someone who doesn't like that. And I don't like checking folks or having to even speak up for people who are grown. I don't like doing that kind of stuff. But I'm going to do it, especially if it's going to hurt my channel or if it's directly impacting somebody that I know. Okay? With that being said, I don't really care for anybody getting in my comment section telling me how to fucking act with my friend group. When I bring these people to my channel to speak, at any point in time, they can say, I don't want to do this no more. And I would move on and be done with the panel. I'd probably get a new set of folks and do another show or whatever like that if I wanted to. But these are my friends who I have their phone numbers that I contact regularly. Okay? I'm not a fan of these people. I'm a friend of these people. Get out of my goddamn comment section trying to tell me how to fucking feel, especially when shit can fuck my shit up. It is aggravating. Now that I'm aggravated by, when someone's telling me how to act with people they don't even know or even know the whole situation at that because they're so enamored with a joke or a body. Stop that shit. Especially when I can go through as a content creator and click on your comments and see every comment that's being made has nothing to do with me or any of the reviews that I do, but only this specific show. So you only show up that day, not for me, but for them. And that's fine. Show up for the people. But you are coming after me now because you don't like it when somebody did something wrong, has to be corrected. You keep that energy somewhere else. Don't you bring that shit to me. Unfortunately, I am the one and done. And I will run up on folks in public. And I will drag somebody in the street if I feel like it. You better hope to God my Holy Spirit gathers me together and sits me over somewhere else and says, Matthew, your life is good. You've been doing good, son. Chill out. You better hope someone finds me. So, and I am speaking directly to you or anybody that actually has had that, because if the girl's in the back that's like, oh, you're talking to me. Yes, I am talking directly to you. Because you're the same person who said, fuck Mimi, get her off the show, and I had to cuss you out in your comment section. That was me. Another reason why I was upset with Miss Mama, because I had in many occasions had to go off on folks that were very disrespectful to her in my comment section, where I would delete their comments and then find them in Instagram and drag their asses, because that's my friend, you know, and play that shit with me. I've done the same thing for the other girls too. Duly all of them, Jamar especially Jamar, because that's the one who was with me from the day once. I'm that girl. I'll get in your inbox. I'll go in. Block you. Why am I blocked on here? You know why. Do you know Jamar came to Houston? Didn't tell me. Remember how I told you he couldn't be on the panel? And he was going to Bama to visit family, but he made his way to Houston. And he already knew he was going to Houston, but he didn't tell me because he wanted to surprise me, because Jamar knows I like surprises, but I hate surprises, but I like surprises, but I hate surprises. And as I'm sitting at the table with Scotty and Josiah of the Boys Night Out, a new friend group I made over time in spending time with them, becoming very cool with them, Jamar rolls up on the surprise. And it's every time Jamar comes to Houston while I'm here, he does that on purpose. Because he loves to surprise me and make me do my, I'm extra. I love Jamar down, and I will, whoo, I don't play with that one. Okay. That's my best friend. Scotty has become one of my new best friends. I love Scotty down. I will defend him. It's interesting because Scotty's channel is really doing very well, and I'm happy for him. I'll celebrate actually, but it's also, I see some of that success, which he's accredited. He's giving me my dues on that, to some things I suggested he do. And he has followed through on that, and it has worked very well for him. I'm also like, well, girl, how many? I was like, send some of this juju over here. But that's my dog. And I will mess somebody up over Scotty in a quick heartbeat. Quick heartbeat. Absolutely. Hey, Rika, I talked to Scotty and Josiah about this. I think we're going to include the Bobby Light show in the boys' night out now, because we were talking about it at brunch. Like, what do you want to do and what do we want to bring? I was like, girl, we have to talk about it. It's a little ratch. It's right up the alley. Cute. Let's go. And Josiah, while he live out here, that's my new friend too. I don't hang out with Josiah like that outside of the group. It's not anything against Josiah. Josiah just doesn't know that I'm very much a loner and very to myself. Once I'm done talking, like after this live, I probably won't even be speaking to my roommate. I'll be walking past him, wave, do all that, because I need to. I feel like when I get into my zone, it's like it's like being under the ocean and you have to go through a decompression chamber. That's how I normally am after doing anything. I'm like, I need to decompress. But I love them down. Listen, Dooley's my boy. I love him to death. Dooley, little headstrong Taurus, that's fine. And I appreciate him. Every now and then he can get on my last fucking nerves, but not really, because at the end of the day, I love Dooley for everything and anything. I know that's not Coda. I know that's not the dog in this house. I will pick this computer up and I will go clown her. Okay. Y'all heard that? Oh, that sounded just like that husky. It sounded just like the husky. You know how they are. Huskies are so all that stuff. But I'm gonna be honest with you, Peace. I have to sometimes watch where that violence goes, because that violence, while you find is a key, can take down my channel. Truth. Saying NIGGA can take down my channel. So when y'all see me like, hey, friend, don't come at me on some Matt, you're just not letting no one have fun. No, Matt is trying to keep his shit so we have shit to come back to. I've had my conversations with C Diggy too. That's another one who I'm happy I became good friends with. Me and Chris have so much in common. It's so refreshing. And my Sailor Moon night right there. I love Chris down. He's such good energy. And I also, spending time with Chris at DragCon, I got to learn a lot about him that I wouldn't have known had I not spent time with him. You know what I'm saying? Where, I have a more of an appreciation for who Chris is as a person after us sharing our hotel at DragCon and getting to know him. It's funny because you have to tell yourselves this. Me and Chris are sitting here on this bed and we've been up all day or whatever. And Chris had ordered food and I was getting mine. I kid you not. Chris was eating the sandwich from Jack in the Box, y'all. He put that sandwich down real polite. I said, wait a minute. I'm right next to Chris. I was actually talking to Chris for like 15 minutes. I'm just speaking, having a full moment. We were talking about what happened at DragCon. We were doing the full bit. Chris is dead ass knocked out, arms folded, still sitting up in the bed. The sandwich is on his lap. I was cackled. And that's when I was like, okay, he's gonna be my friend for life. Because almost every friend I know and have a good relationship with, I know that they sleep upright. I was like, oh, that's family. Oh, it's so funny. But no, Chris is really good people. Blake, one of my favorite people I met through Dooley. I always feel a certain sense when I'm around Blake. My luxury side kicks in when I'm around Blake. He reminds me of a former self when I used to drive a BMW and give the girls the give. I love Blake a lot. He's good people. I love Justin down, in case somebody didn't know that. Now, Justin can sometimes overtalk folks because he gets very excited, but that's just his personality. Justin's a very extroverted individual, and he is also extremely beautiful, which I know y'all like, and I see y'all up on there on that. But sometimes, you get a little gray, but it's okay because Justin has built his own platform for himself, his skincare routines. I don't see it missing. Do you see his face? And honestly, doing his podcast was one of my favorite things I've ever done. If he never knew that, it was one of my favorite things to ever do. And I did that podcast in the midst of moving from Vegas to Houston. And I was in that little Airbnb right after all that mess happened. I literally met Justin through chaos. Didn't even know. So, it's interesting because I was thinking, Liam, about going back to stereo and just doing like a weekly podcast, my own style. Sometimes I do enjoy working with others, but y'all, I love working with myself the most. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a very solo dolo kind of guy, but I love groups too, because I can banter with anybody. I can talk to anybody. Yeah, that's JV Squad. I like Jaylee a lot. I was happy to meet Jaylee. I met her in my comment section, but also, Jaylee has associations with Scotty, Bondi Blue, and all of them. And so I was really happy I got a chance to meet Jaylee. She's a key. She's cute. And Alex, I will always give Alex his credit. I will never take it away. I would not be the success I am today without him. I would not know what I would be doing with my channel without Alex. Alex has given me some of the best advice I've ever been given in my entire life. He is cray, but he's the best kind and will read you under the table. But I will always be by Alex's side. If he needs me to, if I have the money and I can make it, I will be there. And that's my boy, and I appreciate him so much. I got a chance to meet him, and I thought that was crazy. He was really sweet. We didn't really get a lot of time to hang out, but after my outburst during the reunion for the circle, that was one of the folks that was like, "You good?" I was like, "Girl, did you see all that shit?" He was very nice. I wish I lived in Atlanta. I probably would, get to know him a lot more. But from the moment when I did get a chance to spend time with him, and for the times I did see him, he was very cool. I have a lot of respect for him, especially because I remember him from the early days when he was reviewing Bad Girls Club in them wigs. So like seeing where he's at now is very much an inspiration to me as a content creator and somebody who's creating stuff. So I have nothing but respect for him. He's amazing. Gabby's one of the best things that ever come out of this channel. And I hope Gabby, if she's listening to this or she sees this, understands that she has a power that is bright. It is strong. It is warm. It is honey. I hope, and I normally, I like to be like the only girl, but in reality, I want Gabby to start her own social media stuff up. She's a hoot. And she's also Bama, so I have an affection for my Alabama folks over there. But yeah, Alexander introduced me to your content. I am forever grateful. See how that goes. And it's funny because Satch, depressed? The panel. Microaggressions got you down? The panel. Don't think you can keep going? The panel. The panel being all an individual. Or like I miss, and I do miss her saying this, be all the people. I do miss her saying that. I didn't think I would. I do. I'm interesting. That word made no sense, but I loved it. I liked it when she said it. Yeah. This journey on YouTube has been insane, but I wouldn't change it for the world. I met all of y'all. Just don't get emotional, Matty. My life has been insane. So I'm always happy when something's like a win happens for me. It's been insane. Benita, oh my God, I see you on my Cash App. Thank you, baby. Love you, Matty. Good luck with the move. Thank you, Benita. Yeah, my life's been insane. It's just... I should not be here. I think that was a part of my prayer last night. I was like, God, you know, many times it was like, oh, I guess this is it. I guess this is our last day. And then you just came in every time and said, no, it's not. I did. It was underwhelming. It's a little underwhelming. I'm like, a little underwhelming. Matty, I live alone. Your videos make me feel not so alone in my tiny apartment. I'm glad I could do that. Sorry. I'm glad I could do that. It's like one thing I would want to say to anybody that needs to hear it. You're going to make mistakes. Those will not define you. They will never define you. You will have people in your life that will just not live up to the expectations that you have. They will not be the end all be all. You know, sorry, I'm getting like very personal right now, but I kind of feel like I can do that with y'all. It's like I have to remind myself when I get very sad of the things I survived, the things I've been through, and all of it. I shouldn't be here, but I am here, and I'm happy to be here, and I want to fight to be here. But like, if you don't think anyone can understand or empathize with anything you've been through, you're looking at the person who can. And low key, even if I was the richest man in the world, I probably broke from giving all my money away. True tea. But well, you are watching with a friend. You are watching a friend because I'm y'all's friend. I've said that in my early days. You know, my early days of YouTube. I'm your friend on the internet that you never knew you had. And you know, I get bad days. I get really sad moments. I get it all. I understand what y'all go through. And even if I don't, I can empathize with it. My good Judy Lolo told me about you and fell in love with your channel and the panel ever since. Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad y'all did. It does get very weary. That's not the word I'm looking for, but it gets very tiresome dealing with the algorithm and certain things when you do something that you love and you know people are responding to it and it's just not being reciprocated that way. But then it is in the sense when y'all leave me messages and you tell me stuff that I didn't think I would hear. And I have to give myself a little bit more credit, but I think that's also come from me being somebody who's light-skinned and Black, and the colorism that went on in my life and around people were because I was this bright guy, it was like I couldn't be happy for things, or I couldn't, you know, share those moments because of course I would get it. I'm lighter, da 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 da. And I'm talking to my therapist about this. It's transferring into my adulthood in different ways now about not celebrating for myself or being happy for what I'm doing because I don't want to come off as arrogant or above someone over celebrations. So like it takes me some time. It takes me some time to be like, yes, girl, I did that. Pop. So when I see y'all leave those messages, they're just reminders that I'm doing my job. And I'm not only am I doing my job, but this is my purpose. And like Queen Kong sending me that message this morning was, again, the thing I needed to see and read and hear and all that. And, you know, I have another guy, friend of mine, and Callie, who he has a channel. He talks about anime stuff, and he's been asking me help on his channel. And of course, I've been here, do this, change that up, turn this lighting there, like not even thinking about my channel, but his channel. And it's almost like I heard it 3 times today that I was born to do this and that I should be on TV. I want to be on it. I'd be lying to be like, I don't need that. But when I say it, TMZ was lovely, but I'm talking about, honey, put me on the set. I did TMZ 5 times, so I can say I've been on national television. I'm just saying, like, put me on the set. Let me give y'all this talent. Let me show you what I'm like when I can read a script. Let me show you what it's like when I'm off the cuff. Let me show you what it's like when that camera rolls and the red light is on. If they just give me the door, I will show them the house. If you just guide me to the steps, I'll get you to the escalator. If you just hold the door open for me, you can have my bed. It's literally how it's been about. Okay, let me stop. I did a whole moment today. We were talking about all these TV shows and Big Brother and stuff, and y'all got into some questions. I opened it up. I was happy to share that. I'm glad I kind of got it off. Low key, half of them tears because of my lost friendship. But, you know, thank you for listening. Thank you for hearing me. Thank you for taking time. Whatever will be after this will be after this. But just know I give y'all my heart. I give you my truth. I give you my time. And I'll do it every day of the week if I can, until I get too tired to do so. But I love you down. Please take care. Please give yourself a pat on the back more than I'm doing for myself. Give yourself that love you deserve, that you need, that is nothing but warranted to you, because with God is love. And I don't know what Christians you've been talking to, but the God I know knows nothing but that. And so I'm going to give you the love he continues to give me, and I'm going to send it all over the world to y'all, okay? Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Do me a favor and hit that like button before you walk out the door. Do me a favor and get in the comment section after this. Have conversations with me if you dare. Do me a favor. Drop a tip in the jar if you feel like it, but that thumbs up is just as valuable. And low-key, Melissa from the Real World Homecoming, New Orleans, is like, girl, when you're coming up here, we supposed to been have Den. Shit, I got her interview that I still need to edit. Oh, lies. 95% done. I have, there's something I want to put in it, but I'm trying to figure some things out. Give me a second with that one. That I was almost done, but there's something I'm trying to find for 2 parts of the interview where I'm looking for specific images and nothing's coming to me, but y'all are going to love it. You'll see. But yes, thanks again for tuning in. I love y'all down. Take care of yourselves. Don't forget to listen. Keep that puss going. And I will see you tomorrow on my Patreon. I'll see you for the Drag Race Philippines reaction, and more than likely the Bobby Lights I Love You Purr, because I did episode 2, so you'll see that on Patreon. And then I'll be back here on YouTube on Thursday, okay? For Drag Race Philippines, Friday is Canada, Saturday is Philippines Untucked, Sunday the panel, okay? Hugs and kisses, best loving wishes to you, your boy Matty Rants. I will see you later on the internet. Take care. Thanks for listening to me. Putting my bonnet up. Bye, y'all. Listen. Yeah.